I keep forgetting my microphone. So let's talk about ways that let's talk about ways that you, Black women, can plan some time for yourself this spring, can plan a spring break, can plan a spring getaway, a getaway from work and responsibilities, a getaway from maybe some unpredictable weather to some more predictable weather, but also a getaway from the United States of America, right? Is my sound back on? Good morning. Let's talk about those things. Let me know if my sound is back on. Okay, thank you. Okay. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Kat from Rebloom Room. Good morning, Yolanda, CEO Coach. I can do it. Hi. Good morning, Junket. Good morning. Do it. Become it. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Meriton Martin. Good morning, SLS Forever. Good morning, Charla Holland. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, co-living single. Good morning, V-Lynn Smith. Good morning, everyone. Make sure that you say good morning here in the chat. If you're watching this on like a TV or something, you can go ahead and pick up your phone and go to YouTube and just say good morning. We like that, right? Say hi. Say hi, everyone. And how's everybody doing? March is like, we're barreling through March. And I see some of you have had some turbulent weather just this week. Spring is coming. Easter, I don't really know. Easter is early April this year, right? April 8th, I think. Easter 2026. Oh, April 5th. Okay, so Easter is April 5th. That's a pretty early time. That means, though, that you do have time to plan yourself a spring break if you want to use Good Friday as one of the days that you're going to be out in the world. Or not. You could plan your spring break. You could plan your spring break for whenever you want. But I think it's important to not just be in your everyday life every day. It's important to get away from your everyday life. It's important. When we're kids, we have breaks built into our world, built into our life through the school year. And I think as adults, we undervalue and underestimate how important those things are, those breaks are. We have a lot of women probably in this community who have way too much vacation time on their hands, who haven't used their PTO or who don't use enough of their PTO. When you're always in go mode in the United States, it means you're always in fight or flight mode. In the United States, our default setting is fight or flight, right? It's always a very stressful, and which is also harmful. Life is stressful, which is harmful, right? We have to, as Black women, we have to protect ourselves, not from just the everybody harmers. Let's see. There's things that harm everyone, right? There are illnesses and car accidents and whatever, things that harm everyone. But we also have men. We also have people at work who view us as a threat and treat us terribly, or who view us as the saving grace and treat us terribly. And we also have responsibilities in our communities and in our civic engagements with people that mean that we never get to just exhale. We never get to just be. We're always on the clock, right? Always on duty. Every time you go on the internet, there's a video of someone talking, some Black woman helping someone do something, right? In the United States, being a Black woman is being always on duty, right? Always on the clock. And so if you need to regulate your nervous system, spoiler alert, you do, right? If you need to get out of fight or flight mode, spoiler alert, you do, right? If you need to spend some time getting to know yourself and figuring out what you want for your life instead of what Black excellence and capitalism tell you should do, spoiler alert, you do need that, then you need to schedule breaks into your life. So let's talk about spring break, and let's talk about spring break options, especially in a time when travel can be a little iffy. Travel is a little iffy right now. The government is shut down again. I'm in Bogota. I didn't introduce myself. Let me drink some water and introduce myself. Hello, my name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School and co-creator of Exodus Summit, and I help Black women take career breaks, sabbaticals, bop around the world as a nomad, move abroad. If you're interested in that, go ahead and subscribe, please. I'm giving you time. Thank you. And then turn on notifications, ring the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post a new video or when I go live with my friends. Hello, friends. Hello. Hi, Mom. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I got to keep my head turned in right? I can't turn it all the way around. Thank you, Mom. Yeah, Femme Noir Nomad. My constant struggle is blood pressure. So let's work on a plan, a real plan for a spring break for you. And it doesn't matter if your spring break is like this week or the end of the spring or early summer. We'll call it spring break, okay? Kimmy says, I told my therapist I want to be instead of do. She thought that was a profound realization and statement. It's real nice to be. I'm living a life now where I'm just mostly, right? I do work, I do this, right? And I have Exodus Summit things that I do. But for the most part, I get to walk around and just be, especially in a place like Bogota, where people don't really expect anything from me. Once they realize I'm an American, particularly, once they realize I'm American, they're like, let her just be. Around the world, in places, this is one of the reasons I think Southeast Asia is so healing for Black people. In places where there aren't Black people, particularly, there, Southeast Asia, there aren't necessarily Black people there, except for the ones who move there from other places. They don't have preconceived ideas about our role in society. In the United States, there's a real expectation that we are the caregivers, the mammy, the maid, the housekeeper, the help, right? There is a real expectation that we're going to be the help for white people, no matter who they are, no matter how nice they are or how much of a jackass they are. There is an expectation that we are supposed to be the help. And they do come to us for help and for support and for care and for the things that they're not able to give us, but they do expect it from us. They also have the real expectation, especially when you're a younger Black person, eyes are always on you because there's an expectation that you are less than and you don't deserve to be in their spaces. I guess I said when you're younger, but that doesn't go away. I'm 51 3/4. There's an expectation, there's the expectation that you are less deserving of things than they are. And that means eyes are always on you. And when you go to places, especially Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, Indonesia, they don't have those thoughts, right? They don't know. They don't even what they know of Black people is like through art and music, culture and stuff. So you get to be, right? You get to be instead of always do. And it's a nice life. I recommend it. While you're planning your spring break, whether you're planning your spring break in the US or somewhere else, plan to have it be a time when you get to be and not be doing for other people. Maybe you're going to do for yourself in your spring break. Maybe you're going to sit down and start journaling or start doing art things or learn a little something fun, learn something fun, right? Go to a pottery class or two. But hi, Anita, you back in Vietnam? Hi. Last time I saw Anita, she was on my side of the world. Yeah, so okay, but I don't want to talk too much about what you're going to do on your spring break. I want to talk about what you're not going to do, right? What you're not going to do is work. What you're not going to do is be somebody else's caregiver. If your spring break is with family and you have child-age children, you may still have to do some of that. But let's plan a spring break when you get to be right? Instead of do. So US government is shut down again from what I understand, and that means airport travel, airplane travel is a problem. And then there's a war. The United States started a war in Iran, and oil prices are skyrocketing, which means flight prices are skyrocketing. So let's talk about a domestic spring break and an international spring break. I don't talk a whole lot about domestic travel, but let's talk a little bit about a spring break in the United States. Can you, friends in the chat, tell us where, as a grown up, okay, we're not talking about where you used to like to spring break, where, as a grown up, you like to go in April, May, early June? I'm gonna tell you, okay? I really, really like Palm Springs and the Palm Desert and Joshua Tree area. I guess not Palm Desert. Palm Desert is pretty suburban, but I like the Joshua Tree area around Joshua Tree National Park. It's beautiful, and the desert is very peaceful for me. It's a place where I really like deserts. I learned that later in life. I like desert living. So I would say Joshua Tree and Palm Springs, wonderful this time of year. Before it gets 100 degrees, it's like 80 degrees already, I think. Let's look at the weather today in Joshua Tree. Today, high 83. Oh, Friday is going to be 92, okay? So we're not all that early, but we at least aren't going to hit, it's probably not going to hit 100 degrees. Joshua Tree is a wonderful choice. Perfect and perfect for now. The United States, a thing that the United States got right and is actively trying to mess up is our national park system. The national parks in the United States are amazing. In a 2-year time span, I spent time in Joshua Tree and Yosemite and Zion National Park. They're beautiful. Yosemite and Zion are also places I'll put on this list, although I think Yosemite is probably pretty chilly, but it's beautiful. Let's see what Yosemite's weather is going to be. Yosemite is Northern California. 57 is the high today, but it'll be 73 on Friday. Yosemite and Zion look a lot alike. Yosemite is white and Zion is red, right? Yosemite, the mountains and the structures, the nature is Yosemite. Everything is so white and green and gray. It's slate, I think. And then in Zion, everything is red. It's like they're like the exact same place in two different colors. They're beautiful. Okay. Junkhead, I didn't realize it was that hot. Yeah, I used to go in March and April. Yeah, it gets piping hot. Palm Springs, Palm Desert, Joshua Tree, it gets piping hot down there. All right. Ms. Millie Gomez. Hey, Ms. Millie Gomez. Bozeman, Montana, and Yosemite are gorgeous. Okay, more votes for those national parks on the West Coast. Oh, Southern California is having a heat wave right now. This is not normal. Okay. I didn't think 90 was normal for Southern California for March and April, right? Weather, right? Extreme weather is extreme. Okay. Extreme weather is extreme. Another yes for Yosemite. Oh, there's a black male YouTube. I think I know he's the man. I can picture him. There was a black YouTuber who lived in Bozeman, Montana for a while. Yeah. And waterfalls, that's right, because Yosemite because of the mountains and the snow and the melting snow, the waterfalls get really strong in the spring, and they kind of trail off in the late summer and fall. You don't see as much waterfalls. So it's a wonderful time to go and actually see it in its full splendor. See why the white people were like, we're taking this land from y'all native people, right? See for yourself what made them say yoinks. A thing that the United States, one of the things the U.S. does better than other people is our national parks. There are beautiful national parks around the world, but the United States, I think, sectioned off and cordoned off land in a really thoughtful way, even though it was thefty. It was real thefty of them. They also knew that this was land that they wanted to preserve. And that's a thing that I would take advantage of while you're in the United States. We're going a little down further south. This is, I think, co-living single is Chanel. Hey, Chanel. Sedona, Arizona, which is right outside of the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon, I am not a person who thought, let's see. I visited the Grand Canyon with Katrina in the early 2000s, not because I thought I was going to enjoy it, just because it's a thing I thought you were supposed to do. I went to the Grand Canyon and man, it brought tears to my eyes. I was like, it's just a big hole. We're just going to go look at a hole in some rocks, but everybody goes and we're close by, so let's go. Man, the Grand Canyon was breathtaking and awesome. And it's a thing that American people should go and see. And Sedona, Arizona has a nice, pretty community that sprung up around that area. It's not far from the Grand Canyon. I recommend them, okay? Yes, Sedona is beautiful. Okay, so that's, a lot of these are West Coast. Let's get over to the East and Midwest. Midwesterners, give us your spring break faves. And then we'll go to the East Coast. I'll just tell you what I saw. I saw Myrtle Beach, and there we go, Hilton Head Island and Myrtle Beach. Hilton Head Island and Myrtle Beach. If you're on the East Coast, South Carolina is also a gem. And it's also a place you want to go before it gets too hot. But also it's a place you want to go to when you can avoid crowds. South Carolina gets very crowded in the summertime. If you can go while everyone else is in school and work, you're going to have a better experience. As long as things are open, and I don't think things really shut down around that area. And if they do, they're definitely going to be open, now. Yes, Myrtle Beach and Hilton Head, beautiful. Hilton Head is close to, there is a lot of Black American culture that you can experience in that island, in that area, that is not only, it is slavery. It is slavery time stuff, but it's also not, because of the way our people lived in those regions. You can go to Hilton Head, you can go to Black South Carolina and experience more than just, here's what life was like during slavery. Yeah, the Gullah Geechee communities in that area, or Gullah Geechee community in that area, has a rich culture that is not just taking a slavery plantation tour. My mom's mom, Connie Perry's mother, my grandmom, is from that area. And so it's a nice, I would add that to the list. Charleston too, you're gonna eat good. So the best peach cobbler I ever had, it's not peach cobbler time. I don't know if you're gonna get good peach cobbler if you go to Charleston in the spring. I don't know, because I don't know, maybe they freeze them and whatever. Best peach cobbler I ever had in my life was at just a brewery in Charleston. When I drove from Florida to Delaware last fall, I looked up that restaurant, but I just didn't make it. I didn't get there. The best, I've had some peach cobbler, right? But the best peach cobbler in my whole life I had there. I've been to that place twice. So I went there with my parents when we did our little trip down south together. And then I went again when I was house sitting somewhere in the area, I don't even think I was in the area. I just was like, let me get there. But I don't know in the springtime if you're going to get the best peach cobbler, but you're going to get some peach cobbler. Somebody's got some frozen peaches, okay? Somebody's got something that you can enjoy, okay? And now we're going to go a little further down south, down to the Florida Keys. You can drive down to the Florida Keys. It's going to take a minute, okay? But you can drive down to the Florida Keys on the East Coast. Though Florida in its own is a place where, we're conflicted about Florida. They've been very MAGA, and I guess a lot of these places, except for unless you're going to California, we're conflicted about Florida, but it does contain some of the most beautiful beaches and sand and water in the country, especially on the continental US. And so the Florida Keys. I spent some time in a little trailer. What are they called? Yeah, a little what do they call them? Camper van in the Florida Keys. It was such a delightful time. I think it was only 10 days, but it was a delightful time. They had a little Publix. I love me a Publix grocery store. It's why I'm conflicted about Florida, because mostly I'm like, forget Florida. Don't spend your money in Florida. Except I really enjoy Publix, and you got to go to Florida to get to Publix. And what key was I on? I think I was on Marathon Key, and it was beautiful. And then those beaches over on Naples, on the Florida inside part of Florida. What do we call that? The Gulf Coast. The whitest sand I've ever seen. And I've been to the Philippines, right? I've been to some white sand beaches, but that sand in, its name is something like that. Crystal. The name of the beach tells you that it's going to blind you, right? Whatever I've never seen sand so white. I couldn't take it. The sand was so white and powdery. It was like walking on baby powder. My eyes couldn't take it. I couldn't handle it, right? I had to leave Clearwater. Thank you. Clearwater. I've never been to a place, I've never stepped on sand that powdery, and I've never seen sand that white, right? I couldn't handle it. It was so powdery. I wish I had some stronger sunglasses. I think you need some brand name sunglasses. I had my Target sunglasses on at that point, back in whatever year that was. I couldn't take it. Okay, so these are some places. Oh, Publix is moving on up. You have Publix in Virginia? Oh, that's good to know. Okay. That's good. And you have Publix in North Carolina? I missed it. I just did a little road trip in the fall. I guess I just passed through. When I went to South Carolina, I went to off of Charleston. No, where was I? No, I was in Savannah. I stayed in Savannah, so I didn't see. I missed it. Oh, Publix in Georgia? That's good to know. Christine says Publix no less than 3 times a week. Where shopping is a pleasure. I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels that. It's the thing I really enjoyed about house sitting in Florida, the Publix. Okay, good to know. So Publix is like Wawa. They're migrating out of the region. Wawa used to only go to Wawa in Philly, Delaware. Then they moved down to Maryland, a little Philly, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey. Then they moved down a little bit more. So good to know. Good to know. Okay. In Noonan, Georgia. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Good to know. So what else? Okay. So we're moving we did some little bit of West Coast and we did some East Coast. Kat mentioned, and I didn't star it. Kat mentioned Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, where you don't need a passport to get to. Anytime you're leaving the continental US in an airplane, it's recommended that you do have your passport in case there's some sort of emergency landing or something. But Puerto Rico, but you don't need it. And that's just in case. And if you don't have it, somebody gonna figure something out for you. So Puerto Rico, La Isla Bonita. If you've not been to Puerto Rico, I would say plan to visit not just San Juan. San Juan is a city or town, but you want to get out of San Juan. Kat said El Yunque. I don't know if it's pronounced El Yunque. I think, is that a national park area? El Yunque. National Forest, El Yunque National Forest. I've not been to that area, but it looks lush and beautiful. Um, I've been to the opposite direction, Rincon, little town, pretty, nice beaches, cool, right? So I don't think you can go wrong in Puerto Rico as long as you don't only stay in San Juan. You can visit San Juan, right? That's where the shopping is going to be, or the cultural stuff, museums. I didn't go to any museums, I don't think. And I'm a museum girly, but I didn't go. That's where that stuff is going to be. But you also want to spend some time out of San Juan because Puerto Rico is rainforest, Puerto Rico is beaches, Puerto Rico is beautiful, right? It's what you want from a Caribbean place. And the food, okay? Don't. The first time I went to Puerto Rico, I ate, no, the second time. The first time I had mofongo. Is that what I'm thinking? Mofongo? Let me Google it, make sure. Mofongo. Yeah. The first time I went to Puerto Rico, I had mofongo once. And I don't think I had it until the last day. I went for the conference, went out with Kimani and some women who were in the conference. And we went to a restaurant and I had mofongo the last day. The second time I went to Puerto Rico, I ate mofongo every day. I'm like, I'm not doing that to myself again. How could I have waited so long in my life, in my trip to eat that? I ate mofongo every day. It's heavy, girl. It was good. All right. So in Puerto Rico, you want to spend some time. You want to eat some food. You want to do some beach stuff. You want to do some rainforest stuff. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you for this, Aileen. We're going to Puerto Rico in November. The first full weekend in November is the Lola Challenge. It's a run. One day you run a 5K, one day you run a 10K, one day you run a half marathon, a 20K. We're doing that together in November. If you're part of the Exodus Summit community, in the sidebar, there's a Lola Challenge Puerto Rico section. Not a lot of information there, although I have booked my hotel already for the Lola Challenge, which is happening in San Juan. If you're coming to Puerto Rico for the Lola Challenge in November, let me get my link. If you're coming to Puerto Rico for the Lola Challenge in November, I hope you'll add on some days and spend some time in another part of Puerto Rico. It's a small island, but you don't want to be contained just in San Juan. So join us in the Exodus Summit community if you're interested in this. You've got time to start training and still train at a reasonable pace. I'm training at a very reasonable pace for this challenge. I'm on Couch to 5K week 3, and I repeat weeks, right? I repeated week 2 for quite a while. So if you want to join us in Puerto Rico and take this Lola challenge and run a 5K one day, a 10K one day, and a 20K one day, join us. ExodusSummit.com/community is how you join the Exodus Summit community. There is a $1 fee to join because we've left Facebook and we're on a platform that costs, but $1, not $1 a month or $1 a year, just $1 to join. Okay. And there's information there about that in November. That'll be a good fall break. Okay. That'll be a good fall break. Callie Duval's got her spring break going, leaving on a 7-day cruise out of San Juan in 2 weeks. Wonderful. I can't wait to get to the food before leaving. Yes, I don't care. I don't think it matters where you eat. I don't know that I had mofongo in Puerto Rico where I was like, the other place really outshined this place. I went to chain restaurants. I went to mom and pops. I went to fancier restaurants. I went to holes in the wall. I ate mofongo. I had it delivered to my house, right? Like I ate mofongo. Always good. Okay. It's all good. Eat it. Okay. You don't have to run to come to Puerto Rico for that meetup. Absolutely not. Right. You can, with the dates are early November. When did I book my hotel for? Marriott. Hello. I guess the answer is just no. You don't have to run it. You can just be there. It would be nice to have some people be happy to see us. Cheer us on a little bit. Bring us some, make a sign. Okay. Mallorca bread. If I had it, I don't know that I had that. I don't think anybody told me that. Okay, another vote for Mofongo. Okay. The Lola Challenge. Weekend. LolaChallenge.com. Copy. Paste. Yeah, there you go. I already registered for the challenge, registered for the run, and booked my hotel. So I'm gonna be there. I'm going. I know one time before I didn't go. That was a different race in was it Trinidad? Now I don't remember where it was. Barbados. But I'm going. You don't need the pork. I don't think I had mofongo with shrimp. I had mofongo with whatever. I think you can eat it without pork. I don't know how it's cooked. I don't ask questions like that. So I don't know. There might be pork in the cooking, but there was no pork in the dish. Like it was, I had it with shrimp, mostly shrimp. If y'all have shrimp nearby, I'm eating shrimp. Okay. I am a crab cake, right? The hierarchy of food ordering for me, crab cake. Even if I know I'm gonna talk trash about the crab cake after I eat it, because I'm a Maryland crab cake girly, not a Louisiana crab cake girly, right? Crab cake and then shrimp. If you have crab cakes on the menu, I'm ordering crab cakes. If you have shrimp on the menu, I'm ordering shrimp, right? Then it goes on down from there. And so I had many a mofongo with no pork, unless there's pork in the cooking of it. Oh, sometimes pork rinds in the plantain. Okay. I'm sure that there are restaurants that don't do that and put that, I'm sure you can do it. Yes. Okay. Adding the chicharrones. Yes. Adding the pork rinds, but I'm sure that there are places that don't do it or can do it without, right? Even if they do it, you can on the internet. What I will do is Google somebody's reviews and see what people have to say. That's how I always find French toast. When you travel around, French toast is a delicacy, right? Because people don't eat it. And if they do make it, they don't know how to make it. And so I'll go to Google and I'll just go to Google Maps and I'll just put in French toast on Google Maps and read their reviews on that restaurant's French toast before I go there and get disappointed. You can do the same thing with mofongo, right? Read their reviews and see who says they'll do it without the chicharrones. Okay? Yes, right? Get out of my face with that Louisiana crab cake. It's not a crab cake, okay? Papados, I don't care. I don't want it. And so if you have a crab cake on the menu, I'm ordering the crab cake. Although sometimes I know I'm going to be disappointed by the crab cake because it's going to be a Louisiana crab cake. Obey me. The UVA aviators hierarchy is lobster, shrimp, Maryland crab cake. Mine would be crab cake, shrimp, and lobster. I think lobster. I'm the exact opposite. We're the exact opposite for our top three. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. Can we do some Midwest locations for spring break? I happen to think that Chicago is one of the best cities in the United States of America. Now, Chicago in April, what's the weather in Chicago right now? Summertime in Chicago, high today is 40 degrees. High on Friday is 58. So they're going to get there. Okay. Chicago in the summertime I think is the best the US has to offer in terms of cities. But I don't know if we're going to do spring break in Chicago. What do y'all say? Where in the Midwest are we going for our spring break? If South Carolina, Florida, if that's too far, if Palm Springs, Joshua Tree, Yosemite, Grand Canyon, if that's too far, where are we going in the Midwest? Let's look at house sitting and see what trusted house. Let's see where the house sits are. Maybe in the Midwest, we're going to, I got to log in. Being in another country means everyone is so suspicious of me. Everyone is so suspicious. Everything I log into, they're like, now go to your email inbox and give us the code we just sent you. Give me 1 second. Let's look in the Midwest at some places where there are house sits so that we can have some spring break. Okay, so let's look at the United States map. What's going on here? Let me enlarge my screen. Nobody asked you. Come on, map. Let's go. Across the Atlantic. Okay. All right. So let's look at the US map and let's zone in on some Midwestern activity. Okay. Nashville. Lots and lots of Nashville house sits. Texas, of course, Austin, Dallas, Houston have a lot of house sits. Houston, Nashville, lots of Chicago house sits. And so we didn't mention Asheville, North Carolina in the earlier time, but there's also a lot of Asheville house sits. Okay. So this might be a time to get to a city you've not seen before or that you like or that you miss. Might also be a time to get out of that city and just be out in the country, right? Maybe in the mountains if you're in the Nashville area. Are there mountains? There's no mountain. Texas is flat. There's no mountains there. Denver, 620 house sits in Colorado, in Denver right now. Let's look at that. Yeah, Colorado is bustling with house sits. If you don't know what I'm talking about, for some reason I didn't share my screen. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I house sit through a platform called TrustedHousesitters. And house sitting is taking care of people's homes and usually their pets while they're away. In the United States, most house sits are pet sits. And most house sits are less than 2 weeks. And in the United States, you can find weekend house sits. A lot of people only travel on the weekend. And so you can find house sits that are only a weekend. The longer the house sit that you want, the harder the more in demand it is. The more in demand that house sit is going to be, the harder it is to get booked for a house sit if it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because people prefer those. But if you have 3 days and you want to spend some time away from your residence in someone else's residence with a different view, right? Different grocery stores, then house sitting is a way that I was able to see the country and the world. A lot of these places that I mentioned that I've been is because I was house sitting there. I'm going to give you my link to Trusted House Sitters, and I'm going to give you my link to my new house sitter toolkit. This is my link for you to join Trusted House Sitters. If you're a friend of some kind of animals, cats or dogs or chickens, or I can't think, rabbits, right? Then there is a house sit on Trusted House Sitters that you would enjoy. If you're not a friend to animals, you can still house sit. It is harder. It's harder to find a house sit that has no pets because people in the United States don't get a crazy amount of vacation time to travel. And so if you're only going for 8 days or 4 days and you don't have any pets, your plants are probably going to be okay. If you're going for 3 weeks or 3 months, then your plants are probably not going to be okay and you're going to bring in a house sitter. But Americans don't really travel like that. Other people around the world, Europeans travel like that, but Americans don't necessarily. Not often, all right? But it happens. I've done it. I did a 3-month house. That time that I went to Clearwater and got blinded by the sand and the clearness, that was because I was house sitting in Tampa. So for a summer, I house sat for the full summer, which was about 8 weeks. I think it was an 8-week house sit for the summer in Tampa. House sitting through Trusted House Sitters means you have free accommodation for that period of time, whether it's 2 days or 2 months, you have a free place to stay. It often means taking care of someone's pets. So you want to read their profile and see what they're requiring and see if you're into it. If you're not into it, you might as well just pay for a place. Right? But if you're into it, if they have a cat, and they want you to take good care of the cat for 2 weeks while they travel, and you get to be in a pretty place in Colorado. I don't know a pretty place in Colorado. Is it all pretty? Mountains all look nice to me. Then it's a good trade-off. If you don't think you would want to take care of someone's pets, I would poke around on the Trusted House Sitters site first and see how often you see house sits that you would be interested in taking because there are no pets, and see if it's going to be worthwhile for you. But if we're talking about you house sitting for spring break, it's time today to get your Trusted House Sitters membership, okay? And set up your profile and do a search and set some alerts for some places that you want to go, whether you have specific places or you're just open because you have a car and you're willing to go anywhere in a 200-mile radius, right? Do you clean their houses? You you leave the house as you found it. So when you get there, the kitchen's going to be clean, bedroom going to be clean. You're going to leave it as you found it. That's it. You're not the housekeeper. Oh, here's the thing. I have to stop everything I'm doing to address this. Miss C. Pick says Chicago, best pizza. Let me tell you one thing. Chicago does food in such a strange way that I feel like they should have to call their things another thing. I think that they should not be able to call that pizza because it's not pizza. And I think them hot dogs, they should call it a hot dog salad. It's not a hot dog. It's a hot dog salad. There's too much. They put too much on a hot dog, right? Give me a Dietz and Watson hot dog with mustard and sauerkraut if I'm feeling fancy, okay? I don't want tomato and onion and cucumber and pickles and salt and pepper. That's not a hot dog. It's a hot dog salad, okay? So Chicago, they do hot dog salads if you're into that, okay? They do lasagna pizza if you're into that. I feel like Chicago, they should have to call it, there should be a regulation. There's a man on the internet who is like, boneless chicken wings are not chicken wings, and they should not be able to call them boneless wings. That is his campaign. Chicken fingers are not chicken fingers, and they should not be able to call them chicken fingers. Chicago, y'all should not be able to call that a hot dog. It's not a hot dog, okay? It's a hot dog salad, okay? All right. Once you put 3 or more items on that hot dog, it's not a hot dog. It's a salad. Change the name. It's a pizza casserole. I call lasagna pizza. It's a pizza casserole. It's not pizza. Okay? Thank you for thank you for this. Sauerkraut, when I want to, jazz it up a little bit, sauerkraut. Mustard, that's all you need on a hot dog. If it's a good Dietz and Watson, okay? I am very East Coast with my taste buds. A Dietz and Watson hot dog does not need accoutrement. I want to taste my hot dog. All right? Banana peppers also acceptable. Banana peppers acceptable. Tomatoes, no. Ketchup, not even ketchup. No ketchup. We're not putting ketchup or tomatoes on our hot dog. Okay? I would like them to rethink this. I would like for Chicago to I would like somebody to, can we run on a campaign of Chicago pizza is not pizza. It must have a different name. Rename it. Just rename it. Eat it. You can still eat that. But rename it. Welcome, Dell. We are talking about spring break locations inside of the U.S. so that you, an adult Black woman, can have some time when you are not obligated to other people and other things, including your job. We think that you need to set aside break time. It's not going to just fall in your lap. We think that you need as seriously in adulthood as they're taken in childhood, right? Kids in school have breaks set into their schedule. And somehow in adulthood, we've kind of given that up. Unless you have kids, And even if you have kids, you probably don't use that kind of schedule anymore, right? You're going to take a couple weeks off, take a week off in the spring, some weeks off in the winter, take a good amount of time off in the summer. That is healthy. That's a really relatively healthy system that we want to get back to. And one way that we can do that is creating an actual spring break for yourself. If you have a family and your kids are coming with you on spring break, that's fine. But I really like to see you take a spring break by yourself. I would really like that. Okay. I would love that actually. Okay. And so that's what we're talking about. We named some locations on the West Coast and we named some locations on the East Coast. For the Midwest, we just decided house sitting is probably going to be it. We're going to be house sitting. If we're in the Midwest and we don't want to go to Yosemite National Park, we don't want to go to Palm Springs, which I love. We don't want to go to Hilton Head, right? We're going to stay in the Midwest. We've decided we're probably going to book a house sit with a beautiful view, right? Maybe in Colorado, maybe in some other place, wherever else they have beautiful views. And we are going to spend some time with us, you. Okay. And also, I've been insulting Chicago hot dogs. Amina, who is a Chicagoan through and through, says, yeah, cold in April. Save Chicago for summer. Okay. So that was a question I asked. What do y'all think about Chicago in the summertime? Because Chicago in the summer is amazing. It's amazing. But Amina says save that for summertime, not spring break. Too cold. Okay. I linked to Trusted House Sitters. Let me also link to my new house sitter toolkit. If you're interested in booking a house sit and being somewhere in the country or in the world and staying in someone else's home, go ahead and get on Trusted House Sitters. When is my last house sit? I haven't house sat this year. Did I? After I left Delaware, I went to Mexico. No, I haven't house sat this year yet. But I house sit still. Even I started house sitting because I needed free accommodation. I wanted to see the world, but I didn't have the money to pay to see the world anymore. I spent my see the world money, and house sitting let me see the world because it gave me free accommodation. But even today, when I don't mind putting down money for accommodation, I still house sit. It's so nice to be able to just get into a space that is beautiful. Sometimes the people have a housekeeper. You can tell on their pictures. You can see like this is a house where they have a housekeeper, right? It's nice to be able to get into somebody's space and have a beautiful view, not a lot of obligations, not a lot of requirements, and have a pet who's like happy to have you there. Sometimes I take house sits because I want to walk a dog every day, right? There are times when I take a house sit that I pick a house sit with a dog over a house sit with a cat because I want to get out of the house every day, right? When I was in Tampa, they had 4 dogs. Only 3 of them walked. Captain, Meadow. Oh yeah, yeah. 2. They told me 2 of the 4 dogs would go for a walk, but I forced the 3rd dog to go for a walk. He was grumpy, but he enjoyed going out for a walk. But then the 4th dog, she didn't go for a walk. So anyway, I walked 3 dogs in Tampa in the summertime, twice a day, sweated my behind off and enjoyed it. I loved it. It was just a wonderful life. Get up in the morning, take the dogs for a walk. Then I would get on their Peloton bike, make my breakfast, get in the pool, order something for dinner, walk the dogs again, right? It was just a really wonderful life to have I had it for, I believe it was 8 weeks, right? And then other times I know I don't want to walk a dog. It's cold or it's too hot or it's too whatever. I just don't feel like it. Then I'm like, who has cats or who has lazy dogs? There are people who have lazy dogs and they're like, just open the back door. He will potty in the back door. You're just required to be the pooper scooper. Sometimes they even have a gardener and you don't even have to be the pooper scooper, right? Where the lazy dogs at? I did house sit. I'm like, I did house sit. I house sat for a woman in the community, in the Exodus Summit community in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. Her dog, we couldn't go for walks. Her dog went to the potty in the backyard. right? Pooper scooper, and the gardener, between me and the gardener, we scoop the poop, right? So I pick houses based on who I want to be. Who do I want to be for this chunk of time? For your spring break, who do you want to be? Do you want to be a person who goes into town every day and shops in little window shops, or actually shops, or goes to coffee shops? Do you want to be a person who stays in the house and looks at the beautiful view and writes in your journal and does yoga? Do you want to be a person who goes to yoga and Pilates, or do you want to do it in house? Who do you want to be for those weeks or days? And then pick a house sit that fits those needs. That's what I do. That's how I house sit, right? Who do I want to be for this period of time? Am I go and visit museums, Stephanie? Am I lay on the sofa with a dog in my lap, Stephanie? Right? If you want to mix it up, do I want a day on, day off? Right? Who do you want to be? You can find a house sit that can help you be that person. One more time, most house sits are pet sits. And so I recommend you become a house sitter if you're a friend to animals. But H&D Abroad, let me get you her YouTube channel. She be house sitting. She does not pet sit. And she be house sitting, right? So it's possible. I am a person who is like, sometimes I'm like, oh, it's only money. Spend the money, get the membership, see what happens. But with your money, that's how I do things. But with your money, I would say make sure that you feel, if you don't want to pet sit and you want to house sit houses that are pet free, take some time and look at house sits on the Trusted House Sitters platforms, do some searches and see if there are house sits that you would be into. And if you see them popping up, then you know that you can get your membership and get your money's worth, because Trusted House Sitters membership costs money. Okay. All right. So this is Dee's YouTube channel, H&D Abroad, and she be house sitting without pet sitting. She's come to many a meetup where the reason she's in town is that she has a house sit. She's done house sits up. The Washington, D.C. area is a popular area for house sitting. Trying to remember where I saw her in Nashville, but she doesn't live too far from Nashville. I think she wasn't house sitting then. But I know she sat in the DC area, and I know they sat in Central America somewhere. I believe Costa Rica for a while without pet sitting. It's possible. I just don't want to spend your money. Okay. I don't want to spend your money. I would get a membership and see, but you can check it out for yourself. Yes, fish and plants, they're out there. Know that the house sits that look appealing to you look appealing to everyone else. Okay. Every house sitter on that platform is like, oh, fish and plants. Let me snatch that up. House sitting is Trusted House Sitters platform. The best house sits go quickly. And so you need to be a person who is able to take action. I think the biggest difference between a person who gets booked and doesn't get booked is the person who gets booked is the person who applies for the house sits who has alerts set, has alerts so that they come to your phone that say there's a house sit in Hawaii. I have a Hawaii alert set, right? I've never been to Hawaii, and I feel like the way the country's going, Hawaii may soon be its own country again, and my passport may not give me access to Hawaii in a little bit of time. So I feel like now's the time to get to Hawaii. So I have a Hawaii alert set, and I got two yesterday evening, two Hawaii alerts yesterday evening. Neither one of them fit my schedule because I have some plans. Neither one of them fit my schedule. But if you have alerts set to your phone and you're able to apply for the house sit one as soon as you get the alert, then you have a better chance of getting those very in-demand house sits, which are Hawaii, which are no pets, or which are long-term. There are 3-month house sits. I've seen 1-year house sits, right? Now, you need to make sure that you're eligible to be in that country for a full year, or that you have maybe you have 4 people and y'all are sharing a 1-year house sit. You need to have a plan. You can't just go to England for a year and house sit with a US passport. But you do see them. You do see them in England in particular. Their homes are available. Their homes are available to you while they're out colonizing other places. Okay, the Trusted House Sitters membership ranges in price from I should know this. So the plans changed recently. Because I'm logged in, it's not showing me, so I had to log out. Okay, so premium $259 per year with no booking fee. Basic $129 per year. Okay, but with the basic membership, you also have to pay $12 anytime you book a house sit. If you're only going to house sit in the United States for now, then the basic is probably still it's a great deal, because the difference being $100 and some means that's 10 house sits. If you're going to house sit in the United States and you think you're going to book less than 10 house sits in a year, right? Because you got a job and you got whatever, then the basic is still a good deal. I would tip up to the premium if you know that you're going to want more than 10 house sits in a year. Or no, it's not $12 per day. It's $12 per sit, per booking, per sit. Not $12 per day. Absolutely not. They wouldn't. That's too much. Yeah, $12 per sit. If you're booking, if you know you want to house sit outside of the United States, the premium is worth it, even if you only want 2 house sits in a year, because of sit cancellation insurance. If your house sit gets canceled because they have COVID or I had a house sitting client break his leg, and he broke his leg a couple of days before vacation, and when he was in surgery to repair his leg, they found out he had bone cancer, right? Canceled house sit in 2 days before I'm supposed to get there. With Trusted House Sitters premium membership, if your house sit is canceled and it's going to cost you money to stay in a hotel, they will reimburse you for that stay, up to, I don't know, I think it's $1,000. Oh, $1,500 per sit. In the unlikely event your pet parent cancels, we'll provide you up to $150 compensation per night to cover the cost of alternate accommodation. $150 a night, $1,500 per sit for a cancellation. So if you fly to London for a house sit and then they can't go, London, $150 a night is not, well, $150 a night, you can stay in a hostel in London. You can find a hotel room for $150 a night. In Mexico, where in Mexico is $150 a night good money? Guadalajara, you're good, right? Here in Bogota, you're good. Okay, so Trusted House Sitters. This is how I've seen a lot of the places that I've seen. A lot of places that I'd say, oh, I like this, I like that, I didn't like this. It's because house sitting gave me free accommodation. And I think you probably need $60 or $75 a night for a decent hostel in London. In London only. I don't mean they're all over the UK. I mean, in London proper, you probably need $60, $75 a night for a decent hostel. I think, right? Money is funny, girl. Money is funny. Whereas in Vietnam, $60 a night, I got a suite in Hoi An, Vietnam. A suite. I think I spent $45 a night in that place where we stayed, y'all, everybody stayed together. Do y'all remember what y'all spent? No, I didn't have a suite. I had a balcony. It was a hotel room with a balcony. I think I was supposed to have a suite, and then they messed up my reservation. I had a balcony. I had a three, when Rashida and I first got to Vietnam, we had a 3-bedroom villa for $300 a night with a pool, 3-bedroom villa with a private pool for $300 a night in Vietnam. Whereas in Mexico City, $300 a night, you're just in a regular hotel room. You know what I mean? Money is funny. Amber, hey, Amber Johnson. Logan, I had a last minute cancellation, but then snagged a last minute sit. Yes, right? Yes to that. Okay. So, trusted house sitters, house sitting, that's part of your spring break plan if you want it to be. Can you sit if you live local? Yes. Um, you can. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know why I'm hesitating with that. Absolutely. Yeah. You do what you want. You can house sit right in your city. If you want to get away from them people at your house, right? Or get away, just change environments. I've said you are a different person in a different place. In a different place, you are a different person. So if you want to change environments, you can sit right in your city. My first house sit, I lived in Delaware, in Wilmington, Delaware, and I house sat in Wilmington, Delaware. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. All right. What if I wanted to take my mom? Would she need a membership? Technically, Trusted House Sitters says yes, but I've never seen it done that way, and I've never seen anyone um, have a problem. If you have a membership, and then in one or two of the photos on your membership, you also include a picture of you and your mom together, okay? And then you apply for the house sit, and you say, and it'll be me and my mom, right? That is how people do it. Me and my mom, me and my partner, me and my spouse, me and my bestie, me and my child, me and my cat. I saw that earlier, but I didn't answer you. I'm sorry. Yes. If you want to house it with another being or beings, just make sure that you have photos of you and those people or pets in your profile, not your first photo. First photo should be you and some animals, but then you can add in the kids or the spouse or the parent or the bestie, right? Make sure you have some photos of them, and then make sure that you say when you're applying, here are the people who would come to this house sit. And that can be sit by sit. Sometimes you house sit alone. You don't even mention your mom. Other times you house sit, you want to take your mom. So you're going to mention her in the application. Mention it, put her in there right away. Right? Yes, absolutely. All the time. Lots of house sitting, lots of people who house sit are couples. If you go to YouTube and put in trusted house sitters, a lot of the people who are talking are couples or two peoples. That's a couple, right? A lot of them. It's not unusual. It's not strange. Now, if it's two people and you're going to need two beds, right, or two bedrooms, that makes things a little different. It adds. It's not that big of a deal. It just means that you're house sitting for people who have two beds or two bedrooms and not studios, right? In Washington, D.C., I did a house sit where it was a studio apartment. Me and my mom, that would not have worked out. And so the answer to your question is no, she does not need her own membership, even though Trusted House Sitters will say she does. I've never seen it done that way. Never seen it done that way. Some of the women in this community have house sat with another person. Can y'all share? Can y'all share y'all's experiences? And then Shantae, some of them request a couple. There are quite a few that say we want two people. Right? I don't know. Most of the time I'm like, you don't need two people. It's two dogs. One person can handle two dogs. But you'll see often we need two people. And then on the flip side, you'll see some that say just want one person. Maybe they have a nervous pet or whatever. We just want one person. Here, Amber, I take my grown daughter and my niece. Okay. I take my mom and my grown daughter. You talking about house sitting? You take your mom and your daughter and your niece? Yeah. Oh, Trish. Yeah. So my mom and I met Trish in Delaware. She was house sitting in Delaware with her son and grandson. Right? That's right. We met with Trish. She house sits sometimes with herself and her grandson, or was house at the time. Sometimes she would house sit with herself and her grandson. And sometimes her son would come too. Right? He like, I'm not missing out on this. Yes. Okay. Yes. It's house sitting is talking to an individual client and deciding what y'all are okay with. Right? These are people. These people who post these house sits, they're people, families or individuals. And you talk to them. You say, here's what I'm asking. Here's what I need. Right? I would like to bring my cat. And you get a yes or no. Taking a pet with you works easier when you're already in that location. So that can be harder. But like if, let's say you decided that you're going to house sit around Mexico and you're already in Mexico with your cat, then it might be easier to meet up with people before you book the house sit so that they can see like how your cat gets along with their cat. But once you get some reviews under your belt, everything becomes easier. On the first house sits, you really want to get your first house sits are their job is for you to get a 5-star review, a glowing review. After that, everything becomes easier. Every request becomes easier. Okay. Once in a while, a house sitting retiree, once in a while, the person you're sitting for will want the person you're going to sit with to have their own profile. Okay. So they know the person has been vetted. Okay. Maybe it's because the people who I know who house sit with another person just say, okay, no, thank you. I don't know people who both get a membership. Now at $159, what was it? It might be worth it. $129 for the year, it might be worth it, right? If you're considering doing either something long-term, or you want to do a lot of sits, it might be worth it to make sure that that other person has a membership. And Trusted House Sitters does say they need a membership. I don't know anybody. I talked to Tanaj and Tino here on the platform. I've talked to, here on this YouTube channel, I've talked to Tanaj and Tino who house sat as a couple. And I talked to 2 different people who house sat. In Panama, Deborah Austin and her husband. Yeah, anyway, enough of that. Y'all know what I'm saying. I've seen many people not do it, but if the client asks for it, then they require it, okay? Here we go. Shajaz Simmons, we couple house sit. We do our virtual interview with me and my boyfriend. We're both retirees, educator, and law enforcement. Yeah, Rick and Halisi. Hi, Halisi and Rick. Halisi and Rick, one profile. Always house sit as a couple. Yes. Listen, it's so hard. Let me tell you all this. It's so hard to, as soon as I finish a video, I'll be like, duh. You didn't remember? How could you forget them and this and that? Halisi and Rick, one profile, show up on the Zoom call as a couple, right? House sitting clients are people, right? House sitting clients are people. You talk to them, y'all come to an agreement on things. Okay, there are people who love their pets down, who don't want to board the pet for one reason or another, whether it's the expense or the stress of the pet being boarded. Sometimes pets really stress out about being boarded, or they just like having guests in their home, right? Some of these house sitting clients are also house sitters and they just like it, right? I had a house sitter here. I just liked having somebody here, even though I was gone, right? House sitting is not mainstream yet. Oh, Minnie says with the premium membership for sit cancellation insurance, they must be notified within 2 weeks of your sit date. But sometimes they're not canceled till the last minute. I need to read that. Let me read that. Because if the cancellation is more than 2 weeks, they will not reimburse. Oh, if it's more than 2 weeks away. Okay, I think I understand that. If the canceled sit is more than 2 weeks away, they won't reimburse you. Because the point is, it's a last minute cancellation and it's going to cost you money. Shajaz, I did my first house sit locally. I used Stephanie's prep packet. Family invited me back this year for another sit. Wonderful. Keep doing it. It is a way to get yourself into the cities or places, countries that you want to be in. Right? Keep doing it. Wonderful. I'm glad. So that's the new house sitter toolkit, housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. I'll put that in the description of this video. If you're watching the replay, hello friends in the future. I hope you're awesome there. The links will be in the description of this video. Go ahead and click on that description. And yes, House sitting, in terms of immigration, you're not working, you're not getting paid, you're getting free accommodation. You are a tourist, just like everyone else. You're staying with friends, you're not staying with clients. That's right. House sitting. At immigration, now I am a talker and a blabber and an evangelist for house sitting. So when they ask me personally, I say I'm house sitting, right? And I use Trusted House Sitters, and you should do it too. But the real answer at immigration is I'm a tourist, right? I'm just visiting, because you're not getting paid, okay? And you don't want them to getting paid, which means you're not a tourist and you need to have some sort of paperwork to enter this country. And you're not volunteering. You're a tourist. Trusted House Sitters makes that clear as well. You're a tourist. All right. So can we talk a little bit about, I'm sorry, I saw a good question and I didn't start because I was busy talking. I saw some questions about traveling internationally right now. So let's talk about your spring break if your spring break is not in the United States. Okay? So the US government shutdown is impacting airports. If you're taking a spring break and you're planning to go internationally, you're going to need to pack your patience. I think that's Eve, Disabled Diva Travels on Instagram. I think I got that from her. You're going to want to pack your patience. If you're house sitting internationally, you're going to want to plan to get there early, 2 days early, I think, right? You're going to want to plan to leave 2 days early, just in case some stuff goes down. But anyway, or something. Sometimes they'll let you stay in the house with them. If you get there early, sometimes they'll let you stay in the house with them if they have the space and the desire to. You're going to want to get there early. I always do a day early. If I'm new to the place, new to the country, I always do a day early. Now, often I'm house sitting in the same country, right? I'm already in Mexico. I don't feel the need to get to that city early. But if I'm just getting to the country, I'm coming in early. So, okay, international travel right now. The United States has started a war for oil. Prices are higher. And the US government is shut down at the same time. Starting a war during a government shutdown is fucking stupid. It's always stupid, but extra stupid. And so prices are high. All prices are higher and travel is harder. And at any minute, something catastrophic could happen. I still think I would plan to leave the United States this spring for some time. I still think it would be worth it for your health and nervous system to go someplace else for some time. I think, especially if it's a place you've always wanted to go or a place that you've been before and you know that you love it and it's going to be good for you. I think it's still worth the effort. Now, you decide for yourself, but I think it's still going to be worth the effort. And I think that you just need to plan for things to mess up. You need to have a backup plan if it takes too long, if it takes an extra day to get there because of airport shenanigans, or if it's too, or if travel is impacted on your way back, right? You're gonna need you're gonna need a credit card with some room on it. You're gonna need a credit card with some space on it in case you need to figure out an alternate plan. I think I wouldn't leave the United States if it was like, I have this $600 to spend on my vacation and I've got no cushion, no buffer. I think I wouldn't leave. I would spend my vacation somewhere in the US, somewhere I can get back, right? If air travel is impacted, I can rent a car or get on a bus. Yeah, with no cushion, I probably wouldn't leave. But with a cushion, I would still go. I think I would still go. And I think I would plan to, I think I would plan to, and I think I would have a backup plan if things went left. That's our money. We are paying for that. That's our war. I don't even live in the United States and I'm paying for that. That's our war, friend. Right? which is why leaving the United States is more than just a plan for you to get out. It's also a way to keep money out of the hands of Nazi white supremacist warmongers. Your tax obligation being significantly lowered when you leave the United States is a viable plan to starve the empire. It's a viable way to take the money out of their hands. It's the working people's money that they're using to genocide their way to real estate. It's the working people's money that they're using to bomb their way to oil. It's your money. And when you don't live in the United States, and when you spend less than so many, so Halisi always corrects me when I say the number. And Adelia, who I haven't seen, hi Adelia. I think it's, I don't know, 280 days. If you're not in the United States if you're out of the US for 280 days or more, your tax obligation is significantly shrunken. A way that we can starve them is to not pay our taxes to them. And a way that you can legally pay less in taxes to them is leaving. Thank you, Adelia. Good morning. I just throw up a number and let somebody fix it for me. I just throw out a number and let somebody else be like, here's Adelia or Halisi always corrects me. That is a way, right? That is a thing that a person in the United States can do, and Black people in the United States can do. So that's your war, friend. Okay, we're on the hook. If you believe in a creator, when you talk to that creator, she gonna have some words for you too. I believe that. I'm culpable. I believe it. Girl, you kept giving them money after you knew? You kept paying your taxes to those people after you knew? I'm not joking. Let a man smile at me. I'm getting married. I'm getting another passport. Okay. At this stage of my life, I have no access to any other passport. I have no way to renounce citizenship to the United States of America. But let that change. Joe and Connie Perry will have to come and visit me. I won't be allowed back in the United States if I renounce. I don't think. Some of y'all gonna have to come visit me. Let a man smile in my direction. Marry me. Give me that passport. Okay. I am renouncing this. I believe that we all have a responsibility once we know what's happening with our money. And it only costs $450 to renounce. They were making money hand over fist. They were like, we can lower the prices. Right? Y'all gonna have to come visit me. All right. As soon as a man be like, what's up? I'm gonna be like, no longer American. I think that I believe there is somebody I got to answer to, even if that somebody is my own soul. And I believe that somebody is gonna be like, girl, you kept paying for their weapons? That's also your fault. You financed this with your little $40K in annual tax. That was plenty of money, right? My federal tax obligation was plenty of money. It killed plenty of people. My 2025 tax obligation killed plenty of people. Okay. So 330 days out of the year, listen. Anyway, No, you still get your federal. So this is why I'm trying to increase my federal. You can renounce U.S. citizenship. You still get your Veterans Administration money. This is why I'm working right now. This is one of the only things on my schedule for 2026 is to bump up my VA money. You still get your Veterans Administration money. When you renounce your US, that money is your money. The thing about the VA is they don't play, okay? The military might play, but once you're a veteran, they don't play about your money. A US military veteran can renounce their citizenship. They will still get every dollar they're owed of that VA money. Smile at me one time. Just one bonjour. Just a little buenos dias. Right? A little what they be saying in Curacao. Douchey. A little douchey. It's over. VA money, they do not take your VA money when you renounce citizenship to the United States. That is why I'm actively working. We had a full month in the Exodus ASAP membership focused on getting the women who were owed it more VA money. I happen to have not participated as I should have. And now here I am starting from scratch at 10% still. Here I am still with 10% when some women in our community bump theirs up to 60, 80, 100%. Sometimes some people, some people need even more than accountability buddies. Some people need somebody to do it for them. Some people need somebody to do the whole thing for them. And so that's why I'm still at 10%. Okay. Leaving the country for spring break. Pack your patience, have a backup plan, have a credit card with some buffer on there, okay? I think I would still do it. I think that the benefits that you get from being in a place, either in a place that you love already or in a place that you just really wanted to go to, I think the benefit will outweigh the risk. I don't know, but I think, right? I've never been to Turks and Caicos. It looks amazing. If I was you and you wanted to get to Turks and Caicos, Puerto Rico, if you wanted to get to the Caribbean now, I would go. I would still go. I know the Caribbean, the waters were just shut down recently. I know that airport, my neighbor with the baby, she loves, when I'm live on Saturday, she be standing in front of the window with the baby waving at me. If I know that they just shut down them airports in the Caribbean for days and days, I would still go. I think that the benefits outweigh the risk. I think that especially if you're taking a slow spring break, not a do. I'm going to do this 2 days here, 2 days there. I'm going to go see this every day. If it's a relaxing spring break, then a more stressful travel day can be balanced out by a relaxing break. Now, if your trip is doing and all this stuff, then the stressful travel day is just going to add to the stress. Don't do that to yourself. But I would still go. That's my answer. Junket, do you think the U.S. will close the border so people in the U.S. cannot leave? Just wanting to know your insights. Anything is possible, girl. Anything is possible. I don't know why they would do that. I don't know. So I don't know enough about Nazi Germany. So listen, call me what you want. I think we're in 1940 Nazi Germany, right? I don't know enough about what their game plan was. But I know people were still leaving, right? Now, they were being smuggled out by land, and we can leave by land. We can get into Canada. I don't know. Anything is possible. I don't know. So Nichelle says pessimist left first. I don't know what, but I don't were the borders when I guess is the answer. And of course, Nazi Germany did close the borders, but when did the borders close? And what was the point of closing the borders? I don't know the answer to that to inform what I think would happen in the United States. I think we're in 1940 Nazi Germany. I know. I just watched Adelia's live stream the other day. Was it Adelia or Rashida's live the other day? And they were like, when they look back, when they say World War III, that start date has already started, right? We name things in retrospect. World War III has already started. Just like I say, the Black migration has already started. We'll name it in retrospect. Good Lord. Optimists were in the gas chambers. Pessimists were in had pools in Beverly Hills. That was Adelia. Yeah, so I don't know I don't know the answer. Will the borders be closed? And I don't know. I think Canada will always be kinder to us. I think if you can get into Canada, you can get anywhere. But I don't know. I don't know what the point would be of closing the borders when a lot of Americans can't leave anyway. Germany, it was just crossed by foot into another country. Germany is surrounded by other countries. Whereas in the United States, most Americans cannot just walk into another country. So I don't know that same thing needs to happen in the United States to keep people here. I don't have an answer for that. They are getting sick of us. But excuse me. But I do think that I think American people, not the American government, but the American people, I think will always be able to rely on Canada to help us. Right? I think because Canada knows that when the US gets carved up, just like Germany got carved up and lots of Europe got carved up, when the US gets carved up, Canada's going to get a good chunk, right? When the US get carved up, Canada's going to get a good chunk of the United States. Mexico's going to get a good chunk. So they have something to gain. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. When am I doing another YouTube challenge? It was supposed to happen last week and I couldn't do it. And so very soon. Oh, Trav, I think I had two women sign up and I was like, friends, I'm sorry. Here's your refund. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that either. I'm in a point of, I don't know. I don't have an answer. Soon I'll email everyone and let you know. I don't know. Yeah, so there's parts of the United States that are more north of Canada, right? So they might as well just redraw that line. Just give Canada, right? That's what, if we're gonna make it easy, just draw the line. You know how Canada dips down into what is the United States. Canada dips down. So might as well just give Canada that much, at least. Give them that much. They take good care of their national parks and stuff too. So that would give them like that park I've never been to, Yellowstone. Get them down into Yellowstone. They'll take good care of Yellowstone and Glacier National Park and all of that. Give them that. Mexico, I don't know. Give Mexico a good chunk. Give Mexico what used to be theirs or whatever. Right? The EU will take a good part of the East Coast. Whatever. That's why seriously, I think it's time to get to Hawaii. I know Hawaiians don't want tourists. I know that. But I'm Black, right? And I would like to use my Black privilege to get to Hawaii because I don't think it'll be long before they're like, we on our own, right? The United States can't keep everything together, right? Can't hold together everything Puerto Rico, right? Hawaii and Puerto Rico, it won't be long. If I was in charge of Hawaii and Puerto Rico, I'd go today. What y'all gonna do? What you gonna do? Y'all are busy, occupied. What y'all gonna do? And California. I don't know what California's problem is. Like they should have been seated. What it seceded? What are y'all doing? What are you waiting for? I'd go today. Maybe if they all go at the same time, it'll be easier. Maybe they're in communication right now. What do I know? That's why I plan. I've seen enough of California that if I never get to go back, I think I'd be okay. But I've not been to Hawaii. Once my passport no longer allows me entry into Hawaii, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm getting there. Yes, you can live on Social Security, but you can live abroad on Social Security, but you cannot live abroad on Social Security disability insurance. You can live abroad on Social Security, SSI, but not on SSDI. SSI, you just have your Social Security deposited into your U.S. bank, and then you move it over to your bank in the country you live in. If you have a bank in that country, there are plenty of people who live abroad and still only use the U.S. bank. I don't know that that's going to be a thing that we do in a couple of years. The dollar is volatile, and I think more people will go ahead and get banks in their country soon. Right? Nita said, I'm going to Puerto Rico. Okay, La Isla Bonita. Okay. Yeah. California's got to look out for herself. I don't know what capabilities the U.S. has made enemies with people, but I don't know what those governments' weapons capabilities are, right? But if you are a place where the other side of the war would want to start attacking, you need to separate yourself. If I was anyway. People need to states need to start saying, oh, we're not with them. We're not with the U.S. government. I'm not with them. Don't attack my National Guard, right? Don't attack my military installations. Hawaii's sitting out there all armed. Hawaii is a massive U.S. military outpost and a sitting duck, armed, but also a sitting duck, an armed sitting duck. Hawaii, it makes perfect sense for Hawaii to be like, no, get your military out of here. We're no longer a part of the United States. Because if I was Iran and I had the ability to reach, I don't know what Iran's weapons can do, but if I had the ability to reach Hawaii, I would start with Hawaii. Right? Like, and so Hawaii has nothing to gain. I don't anymore. There's no, if Hawaii ever had anything to gain, I think it's got nothing to gain. If I were Hawaii, get your stuff out of here. Right? Because that's the first place. Once Asian countries, maybe China, maybe North Korea, once they join in and like, Iran, we got you, girl. Hawaii is just a sitting duck, full of military service people, full of U.S. military equipment. If I was Hawaii today, I would be like, we are no longer a member of the United States. I don't know what it takes to secede. I don't know what it takes, but I would start today. And Alaska? Today. Right? Yeah. I mean, this is not fantasy, right? It's not fantasy. It's reality. It's actuality. It's not fantasy, right? And so I think if I was a person in those places, if I was a government official in those places, my weekend would be spent figuring out how we going to listen. I'm not with her. The United States, I'm not with her. Okay. We broke up. There was a breakup. Okay. Neutral. You talking about neutral ground here. Okay, I'm neutral, babe. I got nothing to do with that. What she did, I'm not associated with that anymore. Right? California can afford to be its own country. Financially, California can afford it. I don't know about Hawaii. Hawaii would need California's help probably. California can afford to be her own country. No, you don't lose your Social Security if you leave the United States. Social Security, you can live in the United States. SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, you lose if you move abroad. No, you can be wherever you want. That's why there are so many retirees all over the world. That's why you see 20 cities you can live abroad on $1,600 a month if you're on Social Security, right? You don't lose your Social Security when you live abroad. You lose Social Security disability insurance, two different things. Yeah, this is not a made up scenario. It's what we're just repeating. We're just repeating history. That's why 1940 Germany. We're in Germany in 1940. We're just repeating. And then when was Pearl Harbor? Maybe I need to read some history books. Pearl Harbor attack. 1941, December 7th. Oh, I knew that. I did know that. December 7th, 1941, right? We're there. I don't know. I don't know what y'all see. When I say stuff and people are like, what? I'm like, what do y'all be seeing? What do y'all see? What do y'all see? Because how do y'all not see the repetition? I have been told that, you take a lot of tests, do a lot of testing. I've done a lot of testing. And when I have been told that pattern recognition is my thing, right? There are certain types of intelligences that people have and don't have. And I have pattern recognition. But I don't think it takes a genius to see that we're repeating it. We're repeating it, right? Different actors, different players, same stuff, right? You're telling me that man went into Venezuela and took that president and the president's wife, and you don't think we're in a world war? You don't think this is a world war? Adelia says the Russia invading Ukraine was the beginning. You don't see this as a world war? I don't know. I don't know what y'all's plans are for things. I don't know what y'all see. I don't know. What I know is I would still get out of the United States for a little while or forever. I would make that part of my plan. I think that the peace is worth the effort. The peace is worth the effort in leaving. If you can't leave for good, okay. And if you can't leave for good, leave for a while. The reason for a spring break is not just to get your nervous system, reset for a little while. It's also to see what your life could be like in another place. A spring break is not the same as a scouting trip, but it does show you every time you leave the country, it does show you, oh, here's what life could be like there. Some of you need to see that, right? Some of you need to experience it for yourselves and feel it for yourselves before you know that it's a possibility for you. It's why we do meetups abroad. There's a meetup here in Bogota in April. I don't know the actual date. If you're in the Exodus Summit community, exodussummit.com/community, I said it. I did put it on the calendar in the events section. There's a meetup here in Bogota in April. Perfect time. It's after the 8th or after Easter. I know it's after Easter, right? This gives you an opportunity to see what could be, right? A meetup or a spring break thing, it's not the same as a scouting trip, but it still gives you a feeling, a vibe for a place. A lot of women came to Vietnam when we went on the Vietnam meetup in February of 2025. A lot of women came there just thinking that they were only going to be there for a few days and were like, oh, I'm staying longer, right? Somebody quit her job while she was out there. Sometimes you need to be in it to know it's real. Sometimes you need to be in, so this is the problem. I know this is a serious problem. Sometimes you need to be in an environment to know that it's a real thing. Me telling you on Instagram me telling you on YouTube is one thing, but you getting there and seeing it for yourself makes it more real. I do know that, right? So California, even though the government would be the people who'd make the change. The government, so the state with the most Trump voters, I believe, was California, the most or close to the most, right? I do know that California is two different places. California is two different states, right? But the people in power, right, are not MAGA. So they could do it. They could do it. And so, I don't know. Okay. So, no, this is incorrect. Social Security, they're like, people on Social Security make up the largest percentage outside of maybe U.S. U.S. service members probably make up the largest group of U.S. people abroad. People on Social Security are the next, right? People on Social Security make up the largest number of people who have left the United States. Yeah, I think I would. If I were them, I could understand Hawaii being like, I don't want nothing to do with any of y'all, but that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Yeah, Social Security and Social Security disability insurance are two different things. Two different things. All right. Spring break. So your spring break can serve a dual purpose. It can be a break, and it can also be a chance to see what possibly could life be for me. I don't know where in the world I would be willing to say, go there and you're not going to be impacted by World War III. Okay. We're all going to be impacted. It's a world war. But I do feel pretty good down here in Latin America. There's a good coalition. I think you want to be in a place with a coalition. You don't want to be in a country that it's on its own, like a Venezuela, right? Venezuela has had many problems. And one of the problems is nobody's got her back. Nobody with weaponry has Venezuela's back. You don't want to be in some place with no allies and no coalition. Colombia has its own oil. So what are the pros for me as a person who's already in Colombia and needs to justify my decision after the fact, right? After the fact, justifying my decision to be here in Colombia. Colombia's got her own oil. And they are extracting oil here in Colombia. They don't rely on foreign oil. Colombia's got allies, homies. Colombia today has a president who is like progressive and whatever, anti-Trump. But there's an election this year. It's an election year. I wish I had a couple more years with this president. But it's an election year. They already had the primaries. But for now, I feel good about being here in Colombia. I think that's how I would decide. I would pick places that have friends and allies, not places that are sitting ducks. And places where so oil prices change a lot of prices. And I think maybe prices here in Colombia won't be so impacted by a war in the Middle East. That's me making it up, right? That's me making it up. If Colombia has her own oil, she's, I think, one of the top 10 oil producing countries. I think, or top 10, top 20. Then maybe that's going to keep the economy from just being all willy-nilly. And so my plan is just to open up a bank account here, to have some money here so that I'm not impacted by the dollar's wild swings, as impacted by the dollar's wild swings. We did not mention New Orleans for spring break, Benita. How did we forget New Orleans for spring break? Springtime in New Orleans, yes. Things are in bloom. Weather is still good. Weather is good and not oppressive. Spring break in New Orleans, fantastic. Last time I was in New Orleans, it was for a house sit. Last time I was in New Orleans, it was to house sit. It was during the COVID, late, during the COVID. Okay. Let them come. Listen, I'm gonna have to delete this part out of the video later. So Colombia had a political assassination this time last year. They don't mind pew-pewing somebody they don't like. A presidential candidate in Colombia was assassinated last year. A pre-candidate. It was before he had not announced his run for presidency, but they believed he was going to run. And they were just like, no, not you. He was in a park giving a speech. I'm gonna edit this out. He was in a park giving a speech here in Bogota. Somebody rode up on a motorcycle, 3 shots to the dome. That was the end of that man. You don't want to mess around in Colombia, okay? You don't want to mess around in Colombia. So they don't mind. They still do that here, okay? They do that here. Colombia's current president is a person that they like here. You don't want to be a political person that they don't like here. It took the man a while to die. I don't know much about him except that they kept calling him conservative and the other word that they use when they don't want to say Nazi. But yeah, they were like, not you. He was in a public park giving a speech. Only he was shot, which is another thing about Latin America. They're very targeted. Okay, violence is very targeted in Latin America. I will say that. It was right here in Bogota. I was here. And they were like, not you. I don't know that man. I'm not laughing about that man's assassination. I am just saying that the other man, he can come down here if he wants to. This is how they do things in Colombia. This is how they do things. All right. If I was not beloved in a place, I would not set foot in that place, in particular in Colombia. They were just like, still unsolved. A motorcycle in broad daylight during a public event. Oh, we don't know who it was. That's how they do things down here. So come here if you want to. Okay, come here if you want to. I would not. If I was him, I wouldn't come down here. Okay. Yeah, I think going to a place that's not alone. So going to the Caribbean. If we're talking about spring break, I would feel fine going to the Caribbean for a beautiful spring break, right? Relaxing, beauty, food, music, rest, swimming. I would feel okay with that, even in this World War III time, right? And I would also be like, and how do I move here? Or somewhere. I think we need it. I think we deserve it. And I think that as safe as the place you live. I think you're going to be as safe in the Caribbean as you are in your city. Okay. So we've talked about local spring break. We talked about domestic spring break. We talked about house sitting spring break. Let's talk about some logistics. You need travel medical insurance. So when we say travel insurance, people often think about like lost luggage insurance. We're talking about more than that. We're talking about you had to be hospitalized or you needed to be medically evacuated, or your body needed to be sent back. You do want insurance for that. I keep an annual policy with, no, I don't anymore. I'm insured here in Colombia. I have an annual policy here in Colombia. I used to keep an annual policy with Allianz or Allianz. I call them Allianz. I don't know. They're Europeans, probably Allianz. I used to keep an annual policy with them, but you could also do a one-trip policy, a policy just for the length of your trip. You want to make sure that you're covered in the event of a catastrophe, right? You may not need, you're not going to, you want to be covered for a catastrophe. Medical evacuation of your living or dead body is important to have when you leave the border, when you cross the border. When you leave the United States of America, you want to have a plan for that. And so, yes, I do recommend travel medical insurance. Danica Nelson, Rashida and I interviewed Danica Nelson years ago, and she said, if you can't afford medical insurance, if you can't afford travel medical insurance, you can't afford that trip. Right? So just think of it that way. All right. Mexico for spring break. Okay, so Mexico gonna be crowded, but it's a great choice. The Yucatan Peninsula, Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Isla Mujeres, the little island, right? Beautiful. You're gonna love it. Baja California Sur, Cabo San Lucas, and the other Santo, whatever, the cities, and they're very popular during the spring, but I think it's worth it. It's gonna be worth the crowds. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mexico for spring break. You're going to love it. Oh, Holy Week. But so Easter. Yeah, we're talking, I would avoid traveling to Catholic countries during Easter week. If your spring break bumps up against Easter, avoid it. Avoid heavily Catholic places, unless you're okay with crowds and transportation transportation being booked and prices being twice the price. Yeah. I know for some of you, your spring break is going to have to butt up against Easter because you get Good Friday and you want to maximize those days. Just know you're paying more and it's going to be crowded, and Catholic countries take it super seriously. Right. So in the Caribbean, Puerto Rico probably doesn't get too much more expensive for Holy Week. I don't know. I don't know. It's only money. It's going to cost you more, but spend it. Spring break is for us. Mojo Hart says spring break is for kids. Okay, then why did you click on the video? Why are you here? Get out grown women's business. All right, just met someone that lives in La Paz last week. La Paz and Walker. Yeah, so I visited La Paz for a winter, and it is delightful. I have learned that the desert really speaks to me. I love being in a desert. I love seeing cacti, and whatever. La Paz is a desert and a beach. It's really one of one. However, I didn't do very much. I didn't do all the La Paz things. I forgot I don't have blush on today. I didn't do the La Paz things that most people do in La Paz, and I still really enjoyed it. Right? All I did in La Paz was eat. All I did was eat and look out. I stayed in an Airbnb that had a beautiful backyard with beautiful plants, cacti, trees, some sort of fruit tree, even though it was in the sandy desert. Some fruit tree and cactus plants, and I just love sitting there. I recommend La Paz. Baja California Sur, the state, is beautiful. La Paz, Mexico. La Paz, Mexico. La Paz, Mexico. It's in Baja California Sur. It's beautiful. People were chill. Even though it's a town full of tourists, and they do like some sort of, was it whale watching? They do some. Rashida went. Rashida did things. When she went, she did things. I didn't do things. There's some sort of like thing that they're known for that I didn't do, which means that there's always tourists. And sometimes when you go to heavily touristed places, the people are not that nice, but people in the pause were still nice. They were nice to me anyway, right? I'd be walking around with bottles. Sometimes I would go and buy my bottled water because I didn't know when the waterman came by. In Mexico, the waterman comes by and you buy the big old thing. I didn't know when he came by. So I would buy like the 6-liter bottles of water and I'd be walking. And I had men stop and carry the bottle across the street for me so I could make it across the street, right? It was just a nice place. Even though it's heavily touristed, it's very beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And people are very kind still. Okay. The gallivanting grandma, 3 months in St. Croix. Every year, not every year, but for the last couple winters, I've been like, you know where I should be? I should be in St. Croix, but I don't know when I'm going to get there. Roshni's from St. Croix. They do the week, Three Kings Day, Three Kings Week, the week like after Christmas, going into the new year. They do a thing that looks really amazing and I want to go and see it. But you have to book it so far ahead to get a good hotel room because everybody wants to be there. And I've never been able to book it ahead of time in time to get a good hotel room or a good Airbnb. Oh, sorry. St. Thomas and Tortola. Okay. St. Croix is still U.S. Virgin Island. Yeah, St. Thomas, St. Croix is, okay, yes, okay, still U.S. Virgin Islands, yeah. So no passport required. Remember, anytime you're flying off of the mainland, if you have a passport, take your passport, just in case something happens. Yeah, okay, we gonna let us know. Let us know when we're going. Let us know when we're going. Let us know. Yeah, they've been doing their Instagram. There's a couple of Instagram accounts that are like really doing a wonderful job of being like, here's what you're missing right now. Here's what you're missing right now. PG Princess just returned from Panama. Loved it. Great. Did you go to Panama City? And was this a trip to visit someone or to scout it out for a future home or a place to live in the future or just a rest and relaxation visit? And what did you love about it? Tell us everything. I think Panama is, when I went to Panama, I was like, oh, my first landing in Panama City, Panama, I was like, oh, Houston, right? It is familiar enough that I think a lot of people would enjoy Panama as a place to live. It's a watery city, right? A city on the water like Houston, but a city like Houston. And that's what I remember. And there was highways. In a lot of Latin America, you don't see like highways, but I saw highways there. And I was like, Houston. That was the first impression. That's not my lasting impression. And then I went and stayed in the old town, which is called something. It was delightful. I didn't do a lot. I'm going to Abidjan late June, early July. So we're doing a meetup in Ghana in June. We'll be in Portugal the middle of June, Ghana end of June, and then Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, early July. So I'll let you know. I think Abidjan is what y'all think Ghana is. I think Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire is going to offer to me what you guys seem to think Ghana is going to offer you. A warm welcome at a reasonable price. And a husband with a passport. A man with a passport. I think that's what I'm going to get in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. I'm excited to see it, especially now that I've started looking at hotel prices in Ghana. I'm like, this is stupid. Ghana is stupid expensive. So we said June 20th to 30th, but it might be more like June 20th to 27th because Ghana's prices are astronomical. I'm like, I could be in Abidjan longer. Hi. Hi, Monique. In Polska. Polska, how are things in Poland? Are you feeling like you're in World War III? Poland is a place that I regret not going during my gap year. I spent a little bit of time in France and Portugal. I spent a little bit of time in Serbia and Hungary. But I think I would have, I regret not bopping around Poland. But Poland is a place you can just bop around from city to city, town to town, and just live your life and eat pierogies and drink beer. And I regret it. I can't remember the city that I thought I was going to like the most, but there was a city in Poland where I was like, if I get here, I'm never leaving. It wasn't Warsaw. Cities in Poland. Although Warsaw looks awesome. Where are you? Do you want to tell us where you are? Now I don't remember. Was it Gdansk? Was it Poznan, Wrocław, Lodz, Krakow? I remember there was a city and they had little street gnomes. Let me see, Poland street gnomes. I'm like, this place looks so cute. If I get here, I may not want to leave. I still regret that I didn't go there then. Wrocław, Wroclaw. But what else? I'll get there. But yeah, do you have any opinion on things on the safety? Krakow was a pleasant. Okay, Adelia, Krakow was a pleasant surprise. I think I would love. Okay, I don't know that city. She's in a city I don't know, or a town I don't know. I would love to spend. I think I could spend a whole summer in Poland. Oh, add this to your spring break. It's cold now. Weather. Krakow. Oh, it's warmer in Krakow than it was in Chicago. Okay, it's 64 degrees. High today, 64. Now, Friday's high is 47. That might be a delightful spring break place. Poland is an easier place to bop around than you think. And the different cities are just delightful and beautiful. And I know nomads, travelers really enjoy bopping around Poland. So maybe that'll be your spring break. Okay. Yeah, Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. July, if you're going to go there for spring break, if you're going to go to Cote d'Ivoire for spring break, report back so we can know what to do when we get there. Go with you where, Camille? Where'd you say? Go where with you? Or if you're in the Exodus Summit community, Ghana. Okay. Oh, that's Jaylyn. Camille. Are you talking about Ghana? Get in the Exodus Summit community. Women in that community find travel buddies. Most women who have found a travel buddy in the Exodus Summit community met her inside of a meetup, an in-person meetup. But you learn about the in-person meetups in the community. So go to exodussummit.com/community. This is for anyone who's a Black woman. Go to exodussummit.com/community. There is a $1 fee to join, $1 one time. Not $1 a month, not $1 a year, just $1 minimum fee. You can pay more if you'd like. if you like $1, please. This is going to be worth way more than that. You can enter more money than that. $1 though to join. Then here's how most women find a travel buddy. If you're in this community and you've found someone that you've traveled with, let me know if I'm right on this. But they join the Exodus Summit group. They go to a meetup in person and they meet somebody and they vibe with her and then they plan a trip with her. Right? It's pretty simple. When I go to meetups, as long as there are more than 6 people at that meetup, somebody in that meetup is going to meet her soul sister, right? They're going to meet somebody where I'm like, have y'all been friends for years? Right? Did y'all grow up together? No, we met here. We just get each other. We dig each other. We travel together. So Anita said hi from Vietnam. She's back in Vietnam. Anita has a little travel squad. Sometimes she's traveling on her own, but sometimes she be meeting up. Candace and Diamond and Abba, they be meeting up places, traveling together places. She was like, "Oh, I don't think we're going to meet you in whatchamacallit because we're going to be when we were originally planning Brazil. I don't think we're going to make it to Brazil because we're going to be back in something. I don't remember. I don't remember what she said." And so, join the space. Come to a meetup or 2 or 3 until you meet your person. I'm convinced your soul sister is in the Exodus Summit community. Come to meetups until you meet her, and y'all just go out in the world, right? There are women in our space who are retired and who travel all the time. There are women in our space who are working and travel less. And there are women in our space who are working and travel all the time as well because they're remote or whatever. But whatever your needs are, there are women in our space with partners and spouses and children. There are women in our space with disabilities and illnesses and needs, special needs. Whatever your thing is, somebody else, you can find somebody else and y'all can do this thing together. Whether it's taking a vacation together or travel, bopping around the world together, or just meeting up in her place. She lives in Jamaica and now y'all are tight. And when you go to Jamaica, you stay with her. That connection is real. Like it's real. It's a thing that you can have too. The women who have it are no more deserving than you. You can have it too. You might need to take some action. You might need to take some steps. I watched it. So Themis was live on Thursday talking about a video of another YouTuber whose name is also Stephanie. And she was talking about friends. This lady who was over 40 said, a friend is just someone you know for a period of time. And I'm like, girl, no. And Themis was like, girl, no, that's not what a friend is, right? There needs to be some reciprocity, there needs to be some stuff. It showed in her video that she didn't understand what a friend is. She didn't understand how to reciprocate friendship. She knew how to receive friendship from someone, but she didn't know how to give it, right? That's her video. That was what she was talking about. But Themis was talking about that on Thursday. There is... Spouses will come and go. Your friend is for life. There is a life friend in your world, in your orbit, that once you meet her, your life is better. I believe that. A lot of women, especially women who are married to men, still their needs are met in their friend group, right? Your needs are met with friendship, with sisterhood. Don't discount it. There's a lot of talk about decentering men, but sometimes women talk about decentering men until they get a man, and then the man is the center. But your women, the women in your life, if you're a Black woman, the Black women in your life, what they do for you cannot be replaced. It's irreplaceable. So focus on those friendships. We talked about last week, I believe we talked about last week, things that you can focus on. And I believe one of the things that we should be focusing on is relationships. And I mean, any relationship, whatever you want, but including Black women friendships. Black women friendships over everything. Over everything. So that's how you get a travel buddy. Okay. That's how you get a travel buddy. You join the Exodus Summit community. You come to meetups. You can come to one. You might find your person. You might find her in one, but you come to multiple. When I sit at tables during meetups, I'll be like, sometimes I'll meet somebody who is, I already know her. Right? A little bit online. I already know her. And then I'll see her talking to someone else at the table and I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's happening. Friends, they're becoming friends. Look at that. Sometimes you look at people and you're like, you look like the same person, maybe in style or in the way they carry themselves or something. I'm like, y'all look like the same person. Y'all are going to be such good friends. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait. Report back. Other times I go to meetups and I see women who already know each other. And I assume y'all know each other from way back, right? Because there's love there. When I see you communicating and talking, there's love there. And they'd be like, oh, we met at a meetup. We met at a meetup 6 months ago or a year ago. We met at the meetup in Morocco. We met at a, right? I'm like, oh, okay, we did that. We did that. Black women friendships over everything. That's me. That is my motto. Okay. If you want to have a meetup in the Exodus Summit community, you just set up a meetup. A meetup is just a time, a date, and a location. Sometimes there's also a quantity max. If you're like, I want to go to this particular restaurant, so I made a reservation for 6, and so there can only be 5 other people, then you need to say that in the meetup. But anyone in the Exodus Summit community can create a meetup. There are cities that have frequent meetups and regular meetups. That doesn't mean you can't create a meetup in that city. Nobody has the lock on meetups, right? So you may see Atlanta, New York, Texas, right? Texas, they get together all the time. That doesn't mean that those are the only meetups happening in those places. In fact, when I went to New York, I went to a big New York meetup and I went to a smaller New York meetup on the same night, okay? Right? Same night. This is not about competition. It's about connection. It's about finding somebody. Christian Jane, are you here? I haven't seen you in a while. Matter of fact, where you at? It's about finding somebody who, I don't know, sees you, cares for you, and to whom you reciprocate. Okay. So the other Stephanie, she didn't understand reciprocity and friendship in that video. Okay. But you got to reciprocate. Okay. Because a Black woman will give to you. Black women will give, but you gotta return. You gotta exchange it. No, there's no lock, right? There's no lock. I'm here in Bogota. If you're here in Bogota and you create a meetup, create the meetup. You don't need to wait on me because I'm in the house. Okay. I'm in the house. There's no city. There's no place. Rashida is in Mexico City. Rashida, the co-founder of Exodus Summit, is in Mexico City. Exodus Summit meetups happen in Mexico City without Rashida's involvement. Nobody has a lock. If Rashida and I don't have a lock on our cities, nobody has a lock. And they know that. All of the women who host meetups, they know that. They know that. Atlanta, Texas, which I love saying that if you can't tell. New York City, they get together often. That's not the end all be all. I would go to one of those meetups as well. If I lived in that place, I would go to one of them because there's so many women there. They're really big and they do things. The New York City meetup squad, they spend some time in like accountability groups inside of the meetup. They do a lot of things. The Texas group has like WhatsApp communications often. But you can still say, I'm going to coffee at such and such a restaurant, bar. No, we don't have coffee at bars. You could go have coffee at a bar. I'm going to be at this place at this time on this date. And would anyone like to join me? That's a meetup. You can make that. If you're a person in Exodus Summit, you can make that. Our only rules are you're not selling. This is not selling. You're not selling tickets to the meetup. Although the meetup can be at a ticketed event of someone else's. Like we're meeting up at, what do we talk about? The Black Joy Festival. If we're going to the Black Joy Festival, right, there's a ticket required to go to the Black Joy Festival in San Francisco. But it's not your ticketed event or your homegirl's ticketed event, right? And you're not there selling your stuff. It's not a pitch. Remember how they used to do those pitches for Amway? I had a coworker. She was like, oh, I'm having some friends over for dinner. You want to come to dinner? I get there and it's an Amway pitch. And they're like, Stephanie, tell us what car you want to buy. I was like, all I want is a Volkswagen Passat. I don't need this. I don't need Amway to get me a Volkswagen Passat. Right? Meetup. That's the rule, right? Anybody can host a meetup in any city at any time, any Black woman. And don't sell. Don't do that. Don't use this community for your sleazy sales tactics. If you can't, When you talk to people and connect with people, they'll want to know what you do, right? And they'll want to share your business with other people, but don't use it like that. Happy hour meetup, San Miguel de Allende today. RSVP and come through. All right, San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. If you're in town, go to the events section and RSVP so you can come through. Good. San Miguel has a nice squad of Black women living their best lives there. You'll want to meet up with them. Yes. So Kemi says, I've been to some elaborate meetups. You can do, yes. Name tags, sign up sheets, gifts, right? It does not have to be that. My meetups, if I put the meetup on the board, I may have name tags. It's helpful. I'm 51 3/4. I may bring name tags when I show up, but we're just sitting in a restaurant. Like, we're not doing all this. It can be what you want it to be, right? Not your Mary Kay meetup. But it can be as elaborate or as chill as you want it to be. If y'all want to meet at a park, we've had that. Let's walk the park. No money required. Meet at this entrance at this time, and we'll walk in the park. That's a meetup. I did that in Delaware, right? Because the healthy women, you can always tell. The healthy women, they prefer to get us out of restaurants. They'd be like, let's go to a park. Every time. And then I'm like, oh, she's a vegan. She's a vegan. That's a meetup. This park, this entrance, this time. That's a meetup, right? I wouldn't host a meetup in your home at least not the first for strangers. If you're going to move it into your home, do your due diligence. Sometimes women drop their defenses a little too much. Okay. Sometimes we drop our defenses a little too much. I wouldn't do it in your home, especially not in the beginning. But it does not have to be a restaurant. It does not have to be an event, a festival. We can walk in the park. Right? Or we can go for ice cream. I'm going to add some food in somehow. Coffee. This location, this time, this date. That's a meetup. Okay. Other women do. We signed up for a cooking demonstration and whatever. It can be what you want it to be. Okay. And this is how you'll meet people if you create a meetup that is doing a thing that you like to do, you're going to find women like you who like to do those things. If you're a walk in the park person, you're going to find other women who will say yes to a walk in the park. If you're a happy hour chick, you're going to find other women who will say yes to happy hour, right? So anyone can host a meetup. It's as simple as going into. Actually, I don't know. I think you have to tell Frances, the administrator, who just had a birthday. I think you tell Frances that you're hosting the meetup and she sets it up. I don't think you can set it up yourself, but you just message Frances. You DM her in the Heartbeat app. Our app we're on a platform called Heartbeat. We left Facebook. It's simple. I just set my own meetups up, but I think you have to go through Frances. But it's simple. Time, date, location. And if there's a max occupancy, say that. If you made a reservation for 8 or 6 or 4, then say that. That's it. And you meet people who are into what you're into. That's nice. It's not easy in an adult world to meet people who are into what you're into when something that you're into is like traveling the world, unless you're on a group trip. But this is without the group trip fee. Without the group trip fee, you get to meet other women who are interested in trying something new in their lives. And women who are agency, women who see agency. The problem that I have with meeting people is you meet somebody and you find out that they believe that life happens to them. That's the thing. We can't be friends. We can't be friends anymore. 40-year-old Stephanie, absolutely. We could have been friends. We would just go to happy hour and talk about how everything sucks. But 50-year-old Stephanie is not interested in that conversation anymore. And so to meet people who are like, here's what I want from my life, and here's how I'm going to get it. You need to be in spaces with women who are like, I want to find out what I want for my life, and I'm going to take the action to get those things. And this is one of those communities. We're going to hit 5,000 members in our new community. We were at 26,000 members on Facebook, and we closed that group down. It's there, but it's not active. It's still there because some people still find it every day, right? 26,000 members. We're heading over to, we're getting ready to hit 5,000 members in our newer space. What you see in that community, in those women, are, this is my life. I'm gonna live it. I struggle with people who are like, oh, this happened and that. Not this happened and that happened, but this is, what can I do? What can I do? Right? What can I do about that? Something, girl, do something. You're going to have to do something. Because anyway, that's the difference. That's the thing you see inside of the Exodus Summit community. And when you go to meetups, that's what you hear. Even sometimes in meetups, if it's a meetup of 8 women, there might be 3 women there who have no interest in moving abroad. But she's still I want what I want from my life woman. Right? Sometimes there's still women who are like, no, I don't think I want to move abroad. I want to spend some time. I'll maybe take a sabbatical, maybe go visit, go to an international meetup, whatever. Sometimes there's still women who are not interested in moving. But she is a person who does see how important it is to be in charge of her life. Okay. And that's what you meet when you come to Exodus Summit events. It's nice. I go. I go to meetups. I wouldn't go to meetups if I didn't love them. Because, I'm really satisfied in the house. I really enjoy being in the house. When's the last time? So I've been walking and trying to work my knee out. I'm on couch to 5K, but week 3 really hurt me. So I have left this week, but not Thursday or Friday. No, I didn't leave the house Thursday or did not darken my doorstep Thursday or Friday. I just be in the house. I ordered some Indian food the other day. So I'm still finishing up my leftovers. I'll be in the house. If I get up and put on clothes and go to a meetup, you know that they are worth it. They're worth the time because I don't need to. I go to meetups because I love them. And I love when I meet women there. I love when I hear their progress or their stories or their questions. It's amazing. So I recommend you go. And then, what is this? When I come to Cote d'Ivoire in West Africa, some places to visit: mountain, city of Mayan, nice weather, best coffee in the world, Assini Beach. Let me take a screenshot. I don't know how big Cote d'Ivoire is and how much time I'm going to have to see other places. But thank you so much, Nimba Fashion. Are you in Cote d'Ivoire? And do you have a store front, like a shop? Thank you. Yeah, so Jenny, I'm interested in leaving, but because of custody reasons, we're staying for a few more years. There are women in these meetups in whatever your, like, I don't want to say situation, but whatever your life looks like, there's somebody else in those meetups who is like, girl, same. You meet her and you talk to her and y'all become friends. We need that. We need each other. Yes. Okay. Myra J., Raleigh, North Carolina, Walking Park meetup. Go ahead and set it up, right? Set it up in the Exodus Summit community, and then people will RSVP to it, right? Okay. Okay. So, how did we do? One more time, trusted house sitters. If you're interested in house sitting internationally or domestically, including like right in your own neighborhood, maybe, go ahead and join Trusted House Sitters. I have an affiliate link to Trusted House Sitters here. Oh, wait. Well, first, here's my new house sitter toolkit. This is a free download for people who are interested in starting house sitting. You can do it. Come on, you can do it. New house sitter toolkit. Copy, paste. Okay. And this is my affiliate link for you to join Trusted House Sitters. Copy, paste. I have been on Trusted House Sitters since 2017, I'm pretty sure. Might be 2016. And even though I pay to get to the house sit, I get free accommodation everywhere. Free accommodation when I house sit, it's taking me around the world and around the country. I know that I love Palm Springs because I spent a summer house sitting in Palm Springs. I know about the Clearwater Beach in Florida with the blinding white sand because I house sat in that area. And so, no, it's the same toolkit. It's new as in it's for new house sitters. It's not a new toolkit. Hey, Shante, it's not a new toolkit. It's for a toolkit for new house sitters, is what I mean. It's not new, girl. It's not new. Yeah. I know Mexico. So the first time I ever went to Mexico was on a house sit. And I ended up staying for months. This was in Lake Chapala / San Nicolas / Ajijic, south of Guadalajara. House sitting has opened doors to the world for me that I could not afford otherwise. And that I wouldn't even have known to try. I would not have known to. The house sit was in a little town called San Nicolas in the state of Jalisco in Mexico. I would not have known that place existed. It's adorable. It's delightful. People still ride around on horseback. It's delightful. I wouldn't have known. I let Trusted House Sitters send me places. This time, one year, I was in, well, Easter one year, I was in the Netherlands, right outside of Amsterdam. And y'all, I was 40, let's go with 46, 47 years old. And I did not realize there were flower farms until I saw flower farms in the Netherlands when I was on a house sit. I guess I thought flowers just grew in greenhouses, not fields and fields. I'm from Delaware. I know what a farm looks like, right? We got corn as far as the eye can see in Delaware and probably soybean and other stuff, right? But in the Netherlands, you ride by, that's not corn, that's hyacinth, right? Fields and fields of tulips and hyacinth and whatever else. I was like, this is a whole new world that I would not have known existed, except that I accepted a house sit from Trusted House Sitters. I let house sitting open up some things to me. There have been Canada meetups, so go ahead and create something and some people will come, okay? We have a smaller community in Canada, but there are Exodus Summit women in Canada, especially in Ontario. Is that where? So there's on YouTube, she's Black Women Build Wealth. Samira, I think she's in Ontario. I'm serious. Oh, people ride on horseback where you live? Yeah. Where are you? Yeah. Phone meetups. New York does some Zoom meetups. Maybe some other places do Zoom meetups as well, but there are Zoom meetups for some of the places, especially New York. When it gets cold, they'll be like, we're meeting up on Zoom, okay? until it breaks, then we'll meet up in person. No, this is absolutely not true. When you house sit for a family, they have pets and they already have a plan with their veterinarian. I couldn't think of the word. They have a plan with their veterinarian. So if there's an emergency, you take the pet to the veterinarian, they bill the family. In Mexico, veterinarian care is inexpensive. So I had a house sitting client in Mexico who was just like, here's some pesos. If you need to take them to the doctor, just use these pesos. And that's what I did. But other times I've taken 3 different animals to the veterinarian. I've never paid out of pocket. That's a thing that you need to have. Now, if they're new and they don't think about it ahead of time, that's a thing you need to say to them. Can you please contact your veterinarian and work out what will happen if I need to take the pet there in the event of emergency? I've never heard of anyone. I've helped, I was going to say dozens, but it's hundreds. I've helped hundreds of women start house sitting. I've never heard anyone pay out of pocket for a veterinarian bill, because that's not how you do it. And that's not how Trusted House Sitters is set up. Yeah, right. Everyone except for the one who gave me cash ahead of time, they're like, just take him to the vet. The vet will bill me, or I have my credit card on file, right? That's not how pet parents who are going to go through the effort of moving someone into their home to care for their pet while they're gone, they're responsible people and they love that pet, okay? They're not going to have you out here willy-nilly. That's either fake, right? Or somebody who just did not know what to do. The good news about Trusted House Sitters and house sitting in general is that it's not mainstream yet. So you don't have the slicksters involved, right? There are people who are going to take advantage of a situation in any opportunity they get. Those people don't know about house sitting yet. They don't know. They don't know about this yet, right? It's not mainstream. It's down low. It's undercover enough that the people who are involved, you're going to find they're good people, right? Your house sitting clients and other house sitters, they're good people. Get in while you can. Get in before that changed. Oh, okay. Central coast of California, Pismo Beach, farming country, tractors, horses, cowboys, ranch. It's nice to see people riding around on horseback just for transportation. You're like, oh, slow and steady. Everything doesn't have to be so fast and so whatever, right? We'll get there when we get there. We'll get there when we get there. Okay, welcome to house sitting. Use my toolkit to get the letter to get booked. I have a letter in the new house sitter toolkit that helps you get booked to house sit. Use that. Welcome. All right. Okay, so we've gone a good long time. We've talked about your spring break. Who was not planned? Some of you already told us you were planning. You got a cruise coming up. You got a trip coming up. Who was not planning to take any spring break and is now maybe going to consider it? You don't have to say you're definitely going to do it, right? You don't have to say you're definitely going to do it, but is anybody considering it now? I think it's important that we treat ourselves. I don't think the world is coming to an end. Okay, relax. I'm not saying go to Hawaii because Hawaii is not going to exist soon, but I am saying things are changing and you want to live your life. There are a variety of reasons to carve out some time this spring for you. And that includes because you want to, because you just want to see someplace. You want to see who you are in that place, right? But also maybe because you want to scout it out to live there later, right? Maybe because you want to cross something off of your bucket list if you do a bucket list. Right? Maybe because you don't know if your passport will get you entry into that place much longer. For whatever reason. I think it's important. Okay. Sydney? Hey, L Red Pen, thinking about it? Okay, good. Absolutely. Pam? House of Slaughter? Pam of House Slaughter? House Slaughter? Pam, oh, spring break and do it alone. Good. Good. I recommend it. We didn't talk about Canada for spring break. Some of you don't mind being chilly, and those The national parks in Canada also beautiful, and lakes, just like random lakes in Canada. You can just run up on a random lake and it'll be like a mountain and a lake, and it's the most beautiful place you've ever been, and tears brought tears to your eyes. Right? We didn't talk enough about. We didn't mention Canada. It's the weather. I don't enjoy wearing heavy jackets and coats. But yeah, I hope I hope I convinced you. I hope I convinced somebody to at least try to make it work. Right? Try to make it work, whether it's local or somewhere else in the country or somewhere out of the country. I hope you will. We are villains. We are villainess. I'm a polar bear on the inside. Then yeah, Canada. This time a couple years ago, my mom and I were in Iceland. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't like to wear a coat, and I will go back to Iceland. I will. Okay, I know that I will go back to Iceland. Now I'm gonna try to go back next time in July instead of April, but beautiful. Talk about a place. It's expensive. Iceland is expensive, but I just want to get into a little cabin. There's a hotel. Marriott has a hotel that looks a little cabin-like. I just want to be in Iceland in a cabin. There's little ponies. There was just ponies on the side of the mountain, little horses. I guess they're ponies. And waterfalls on waterfalls, geysers. I think they're called geysers if they're hot water. Just an amazing place. I will go back to Iceland, even though I don't like to wear a coat. There are some beautiful places in this world. Take some time this spring and get somewhere, even if it's in your own city. There's some beauty out there, awe-inspiring. There is awesome wonder. Get yourself there and see if your blood pressure doesn't get a little bit better, right? See if your stomach doesn't unknot a little bit. See if you don't start pooping a little bit more. See if your shoulders don't drop a little bit. See if your skin's not glowing a little extra. It's our world. See it. We all have our different things. And there was a time when I didn't mind being hot and sweaty. Now I don't like to be hot and sweaty. I definitely don't like cold, but I'm less interested in hot and sweaty. Hot and sweaty, I can do it for a week at a time, right? A week and that's it. We all have our needs. There's a place that'll fit your needs. Whether it's a vacation spot or a place that you live, there's a place that will fit your needs and that will just astound you. Whether it's the nature or the people or the food. Vietnam, the food. Ooh, the food, right? There are places that will just astound you. World War III doesn't have to stop your exploration. I think Vietnam is pretty safe. I think if I was on the West Coast, I think I would feel pretty good about, or not, you don't have to be on the West Coast to go to Asia. But I'm saying if I was a West Coaster, Asia is often closer than the Caribbean, I think, right? I don't know. I wouldn't have problems going to Vietnam right now. I think for Californians, Asia is closer than the Caribbean. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, that's what I wanted to talk about. Hello, seat at my table. Do I offer private consultations for those moving abroad? No. I do coaching inside of the Exodus ASAP membership. Rashida Dow and I do coaching inside of Exodus ASAP, but I do not do any more private. I do not do private coaching calls. Exodus ASAP is exodusasap.com. It's actually less expensive to be in the membership for a month. Is less expensive than a call would be anyway. I think Rashida charges 3 times what the ASAP membership is for one phone call, right? A month in the Exodus ASAP membership is less than one phone call. This past Thursday, I did a coaching session on residency caravans. So women inside of the Exodus ASAP membership are working on going to a place to get residency, right? And some of them are going to go together because It's fun to have somebody there with you, and you feel a little better about it. So this Thursday, I just did coaching on residency caravans. Do I know the schedule for next Thursday? Let's see. Events. And so inside of group coaching, it's still small group coaching, right? So inside of group coaching, you get coaching from me, right? So the women who came Thursday, they got coaching from me, even though I came to talk about one thing. Once we put the pin in that, right? Once we close the door on that, it's coaching, right? It's a coaching call. And it's a good sized community still, good sized group. So we have accountability groups coming up this week. And then, Rashida and I coach on March 19th together. Rashida and I are coaching 7 p.m. Eastern time on March 19th together. When we do the Founders Hour coaching sessions, they're often just you getting coaching, you Q&A, right? We don't come in with like slides and agenda. It's where are you in your Move Abroad plan, whether you're at step 0 or step 8? Where are you in your Peace Out protocol? And what questions do you have? So we do that on Thursday. If you join the Exodus ASAP membership today, right, you get every session we've ever done before, all of the replays, and you get to come to our next coaching sessions. Thursday is our Founders Hour, and then the following Thursday, Soft Landings, the Easy Path to Residency. No, that's past. I'm in March. Let me go to April. The following Thursday would be, let's see, April. Let me read April's schedule. I'm sorry. Let's see. That 19th, that was March. That was Rashida. That was March. I mean, when I said March 19th, Founders Hour, that was March. I'm looking for April now. Where? Accountability group, peer-to-peer session, accountability group, how to get residency. Okay. So Thursday, I don't know yet. Thursday would be, I'm still looking. Maybe we haven't come up with our topic for Thursday. I feel like we did. Coaching on Thursday. And then on Sundays, this month, if the month of March, we're doing decluttering sessions. Like, let's get together, log onto your computer for an hour and spend an hour decluttering something together. Because I just moved here, am decluttering digital things, but most of the women are decluttering their home, right? These kitchen drawers, let's declutter this kitchen, let's declutter this closet, whatever thing that you need to get your Move Abroad plan going. What's the difference between the Exodus ASAP membership and the Exodus Summit community? Exodus ASAP is coaching on the Peace Out protocol, coaching to get your Move Abroad plan together. Exodus Summit community is a community. It's like a Facebook group. We do events in there, right? We host events through that group, but there's no coaching. Like, here's how you move abroad, right? So I just did the coaching on residency, getting residency and taking a residency caravan, like planning to get residency in a group. We don't do that in the community. Coaching happens in the membership, ASAP, Exodus ASAP, not in the community. The community is a community. Pam, if I didn't make that clear, type it again. But coaching happens in Exodus ASAP membership. The Exodus Summit community is a community space like a Facebook group. No, there's no coaching inside of there, but there are meetups. Yeah, Exodus ASAP. So the accountability groups are what keep you moving, right? The accountability groups, there are 8 steps inside of a Peace Out protocol. Where am I going? What does it cost? Where does that money come from? What do I do about my people and my pets? What about my home and everything I own? What about all of my stuff? What's my healthcare plan? What's my residency plan if I need it? And how do I move and operate with fear, right? How do I make sure my mindset is right? Those are the 8 parts of a Peace Out protocol. That's what you build to move abroad. Once you have those 8 questions answered, you have a plan to move abroad. So inside of Exodus ASAP, these 8 steps have accountability groups. Some of them are combined because they make sense to combine them. Where, how much does it cost and where's the money coming from? That's one accountability group where you sit down and you figure out the numbers and you figure out where that money's, what is your plan to make that money so that you can be abroad for that amount of time or so that you can continue to live abroad. The accountability groups get together once every 2 weeks. So it gives you time to make progress and come back and be accountable, or to not make progress and come back and be accountable. Here's what I said I was going to do. I didn't do it. I'm going to do this now. And I'll see y'all in 2 weeks and I will have done this thing. Right. And then the Amina and Rhonda, the women who host those accountability groups, have access to all of the other resources. So if you're joining and you're like, there's too much, I don't know how to get started, they also can like point you to things. Here's where this is, right? You need the list of facilitators that we use to get residency in Mexico. Here's where you find this. So the accountability groups are really helpful. It happens once every 2 weeks, which gives you time to make progress. And also it's not so far apart, like once a month where, girl, you're not moving forward. That's another difference. That's what's happening in the Exodus ASAP membership. Coaching and accountability. We do, so Janai Lati, hi. Coaching to move abroad, does it include coaching around building businesses to sustain you abroad? Yes. Inside of the Exodus ASAP membership, we also host at least a couple times a year the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge. We're not doing that challenge in March or April. I don't think we're going to do it in May either. But I don't think. But you can go back. You can do the challenge by going back over the replays. Rashida and I are both women who make money through a coaching business. And we're both women who just took what we knew how to do and turned it into products and services for money that we can do when we're anywhere in the world, right? Right now, Rashida's in Monaco, right? She lives in Mexico City. She's from California. She's currently in Monaco. And so we are women who can teach, who do teach other Black women how to do this thing. So inside of the Exodus ASAP membership, one of the modules is the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge. What do I want to offer in the world for money? How will I deliver it? Like, will it be a course? Will it be Zoom calls? Will it be a digital download? Will it be one-on-one coaching? Will it be a group? Will it be, right? What do I want to offer into the world? How am I going to actually deliver it to people? And then how do I let people know this thing exists? How do I let relevant people know this thing exists? That's what we do in the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge. We just did the challenge in January. So if you join the Exodus ASAP membership today, you can start the challenge today as if you were with us in January. You can do day 1 and then day 2 and then day 3, right? It's a six session challenge. We used to do it in 6 consecutive days, but this last time we broke it up over 2 weeks. 6 session challenge. Because Black women who get to adulthood have something that people will pay them to learn. I know that. You don't get to be an adult Black woman without having a skill set, right? You have a skill set. There are men out there, there are white men out there who don't know a damn thing and can't help anybody do a damn thing. But a Black woman can help you with something. Let's put a price tag on it. I don't care if that thing is how to pass your pharmacy technician certification exam, which is one of my first business ideas, right? How to turn your crochet hobby into a business, how to land a role in the C-suite in this time of anti-DEI, how to recover from job loss in this time of anti-DEI. Whatever, there's a Black woman who can teach you that thing. You have a skill set that people will pay you for. So part of the challenge is helping you uncover that skill set and then go ahead and put it out in the world without all of the unnecessary steps that people often take before they make money. So the challenge is not about getting a website and branding and getting a logo, and no, we're talking about getting clients, because clients are money. And then you spend some of that money, a little piece of that money, on those things if you want. I don't have a logo, okay? My Stephanie Perry, the House Sitter School business, I don't have a logo. You've never seen a logo, right? Well, you've seen a logo, but it's every now and then I'll just stick some. I'll make one and then I'll make another one. I don't have a real logo. We don't fixate on those things that are busy work or those things that are not related to getting clients. We want you to get clients and get money. That money can set you free in the world, can move you to Poland or Mexico or Colombia, Cote d'Ivoire. And so it's inside of the Exodus ASAP membership. Yeah. So thank you for asking that question. Money is important. We're not here to pretend like you don't need money to do these things. Maybe there's a time coming when money will no longer be the way that we do things. But right now, you need money to do things. Right now, you need money. And so we talk about, where's the money going to come from? Most of the women in our community most of the women who move abroad through our membership make their money through a couple of different ways. Either retired, I'm retired, I'm on Social Security and pension, or Social Security and my investment income, right? I'm retired. Or I have a business like Stephanie and Rashida. I have a business and I make my money that way. Or I have a job that allows me to be anywhere in the world, which can mean a remote job, or it can mean I work 3 months in the United States and then I spend 6 months other places. And then I come back and I work another 3 months, right? That is really popular with people like, well, I don't know if they do 3 months on, but there are people who do that kind of work in the healthcare world, in the travel space. Pilots, they get all their shifts together and then they live wherever they want to live, right? They work all their shifts for the month or for the quarter in 1 month, and then they spend 2 months somewhere else, right? But those are the ways. And we don't act like you don't need money. It wouldn't serve you to act in the community as if you don't need money to move abroad. So yes, a big portion of the coaching that we do is, where's that money gonna come from? I'm just gonna scroll because I missed a lot in the chat. I talked a lot and I missed a lot. Okay, yeah, Monique in Poland. We were going to move in 2019, pandemic hit. We spent that time saving, making minor repairs to our house. January 2022, started selling everything and sending boxes to Poland. Yeah, there's a plan, right? There's a system that we use, whether you're going to send things to another country or you're just going to sell it. I think probably 80% of the women that we know who move abroad sell everything and just buy what they need in another place. But there's a 20% who do some sort of moving of their items, shipping it down in some way. And you know what? All of it takes work. It takes effort. You need a plan, okay? It takes time and effort and planning. And so if you're ready to do some planning like that, join us in the Exodus ASAP membership. Join us in the membership. You don't have to try to figure things out on your own and struggle and then be at the same place this time next year, still trying to figure it out. Come on and get coaching. In 1 year, 54 women in our community got residency in another country. In 1 year, 54 women who we coached got residency in another country, right? And 9 are living in another country, at least, right? By when Amina did the numbers, when Amina put the number out, which was in January, 9 women were already living abroad, because women get prepared ahead of time. Some get prepared ahead of time, and then some women are not moving permanently. They're coming and going, right? go ahead and get some support inside of the Exodus ASAP membership. That's exodusasap.com. The next coaching, there's Sunday, we're going to do another decluttering session. Next coaching is Thursday. Excuse me, but there are accountability groups meeting this week as well. We had a session a while ago on the DTV visa in Thailand, but if you're on Social Security, Thailand has a good retirement visa. Retirees love going to Thailand. Wondering about Thailand because many Black Americans have made videos about their move. Thailand, if you can deal with heat and humidity, okay, I think Thailand is a great choice. Thailand's downsides, heat, humidity, and it's far, right? It's far. Some people really love that it's far. Upsides, I don't know if I could finish naming them all. The people are good, and the food is good, and the weather is good if you like heat. And so you can have a slower pace of life. And they believe in caring for yourself. They don't expect you. They're not sold in on the idea that you are just a worker. And so your only purpose in life is to work until you drop. They believe in taking care of yourself, and they do good body work. If you like massage and whatever else, they do it. It's beautiful. The look of it is beautiful, right? Especially if you're like Bangkok is a city. Cities can be right? But if you're somewhere else, or even in Bangkok, you're going to find beautiful neighborhoods. You're going to find beautiful parts. Thailand is very healing for Black people. The reason you see a lot of Black people going to Southeast Asia is because those things are precisely what we need. We are the descendants of people who were used for our bodies, and we still carry that with us. We were only laborers. We were only workers. And we still carry that inside of us. And Thailand and Vietnam and Cambodia, Indonesia, those places can heal that in us. I believe it because I've experienced it. And so, yes to Thailand. I think the reason that retirees and I didn't mention the cost of living. Cost of living is very retiree, Social Security friendly. So yeah, the reason you're seeing so many people talk about Thailand is because it's awesome. It's wonderful. Okay. How many women have you helped move abroad? I wish I had a number. I guess thousands, especially if you consider their entire families. Rashida and I, the Exodus Summit has helped thousands of Black women and their families move abroad. But I don't have a more. I don't know. The answer is I don't know. You say you know the answer. How many people do you think, Erica? What would you say? It's thousands. When I can't go anywhere without somebody being like, oh, we live here. Thank you. Thanks for that. Right? I never go anywhere without people being like, oh, hey, we live here. You're Exodus Summit, right? We live here. Thanks for that. It's thousands. Especially when you put the whole family in there, right? When you look at the whole family, it's thousands. I feel great about that, but there's more progress to be made. I don't know. So what is the Black population of the United States of America? So if we're 350 million people, can I type that many numbers on my computer? On my phone, 350 million people, and we're what, 16%? 56,000 Black people. So that would be less than 30,000 Black women, 56 million, 30 million Black women. So a drop in the bucket, okay? Thousands, but also a drop in the bucket. I sincerely, listen, we're on hour 3. Thank you for your patience with me. If you got something to do today, have a wonderful day. But I do want to talk about this. There is a Black migration happening. Black women, Black families leaving the United States of America. I think that the historians will look back and they will put a date on the Black migration, and it's already started, right? There's already a big move, a big shift. I am very proud to be a voice in this space. I wasn't the first Black woman to move abroad. I didn't even move abroad. I just moved abroad. I left the country for 10 years without moving abroad, right? I left the United States and just bopped around for 10 minutes. I mean, 10 years, 10 minutes. I'm seeing this. For 10 years, I bopped around the world without having a home in any place, right? Let me go 3 months here, 6 months here, go back home for a couple weeks to the United States, 3 months here, right? I did that for 9.75 years. I'm not the first person to do this. Rashida and I did not invent this, but we are so proud to be voices, faces in this movement. It's a movement. I know that, right? We have sisters in this movement. Halisi and Rick, our Black Utopia, who we saw. I shouldn't start naming. Listen, why did I do that? Shar, who was here. Shar, who is the expat app, who was here in Bogota. And y'all, I didn't read. I am so terrible at reading messages. Shar has the expat app, XPAT, for Black expats around the world. She was here in Bogota. And she was like, I hope we can get together. And I thought she was saying next weekend. I have a problem with the difference between this weekend and next weekend, right? And I thought she was coming that next weekend. I was like, yeah, let's get together. And she's like, no, girl, I'm leaving right now. I'm at the airport. Anyway, Krishan, who is Blacksit Global, and I'm not going to keep naming names because I'm going to mess it up, okay? But we have sisters in this movement, but it is a movement. If you have any desire to get you and your family or your family out of the country, there are sisters in this movement. It doesn't have to be Exodus Summit, right? If you're a man and there's no Black woman in your sphere, right? If you're a person watching today and there's no Black woman in your sphere, and Exodus Summit won't help you because we don't allow Black women only, right? Exodus Summit won't help you. There are others out here. There is a movement of people. Get the information you need so that you can go. Let me see if I can find the link to Shar's app. Copy. expatinc.com. This is Shar, a Black woman from Detroit. So listen, I say that because I always talk about how Black women from Chicago is my favorite genre of woman, but Shar's from Detroit, which is also Chicago. I don't know the difference. Expatinc.com is an app for Black expats around the world. There's somebody who's out here helping you get out. Use those resources, whether your plan is to get out for a little while, come and go back and forth, which is a valid way to live, get out and leave forever, get out and bop around the world, get out and move to one particular place. Use the resources, get in community with the people who have done it and use our resources and do it. Okay? Any organizations that will help fund. I only know of organizations that are helping people get passports. I do know of organizations that help Black people and families get passports. Now, who do I know? Glow Atanmo was helping people get passports. Black people. How do you connect with Glow Atanmo? I'm gonna give you her Instagram or her YouTube. Let me give you Gloria's YouTube. I may be able to find that particular video. I need to go though, because listen, my stomach is growling. Let's see if I can find a video about the passport thing. Oh, she puts out so many videos. Girl, I don't know if I'm gonna find it. Let's see if I type passport. Glow be out here working. Okay, so this is a video called I'm Paying Black Families to Get Their Passports. Copy, paste. And, but I don't know. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I don't know of anyone who's helping fund an exodus. But I do know there are people. Yeah, girl, she's on the move. But I do know, I've heard people say they're helping Black people get a passport. I would do a search. I would do a Google search and see if you can find others if you're not able to connect with Gloria. If the passport is the thing that you need. Okay. Yeah. Black spaces need to be for Black spaces. When what we used to see in the Facebook community is white women who are like, well, my husband is Black and my kids are Black. Yes, but girl, no. Okay. Yes, you have Black family. No, you can't be a member of this community. There are other places where you can be a member. That's why I named some other places. Blacks at Global, there's men there, okay? If somebody in the family is Black, go to Blacks at Global. Our Black Utopia, I think, same, right? I can understand being a white woman with Black children and being like, I'm getting an Exodus Summit, but you're not getting an Exodus Summit, okay? I can understand you wanting to be in this community, but you're not getting it. Okay. We're not going to let you, if you do sneak in, we're not going to let you stay. Okay. Tia Takes the World also does passports. Okay. So Tia Takes the World. There are resources out there. If the passport is the thing and you want somebody to pay for your passport, there are communities that are doing that. Okay. All right. Right. I get it, but no. Okay. We have a meet every now and then. We'll have a meetup where we're like, y'all can bring your spouse, your husbands. So we have allowed husbands in, but we've not allowed like white spouses. Black spouses, yes, but not white spouses. I can understand it, right? And Junket says, I hate that they do that. I can understand. They'd be like, but let me just explain. I'm like, okay, girl, but no, try somebody else. Try something else. That is what I think. Every time I see a white woman, I'm like, chances are this is your fault. Statistically speaking, regardless of who you're married to. Uncle Jukebox, I don't know who you are. Statistically speaking, I have a cousin whose username starts very similarly. So I thought for a second that you were him, but I don't know who you are. Statistically speaking, this is your fault. Okay, so no. Okay, so we've pointed you to more resources. Again, if you're watching the replay, these things should be in the description. Give me a second. Give me some time to make my little omelet. I think today I'm going to have an omelet for breakfast. Give me time to make my omelet and drink my coffee, and then I'll make sure that the resources that we mentioned today are in the description of this video. Okay. Donna says, I know a girl took her white boyfriend to see Sinners. That was not a good movie for a mixed couple. No, but let me tell you, people really being misinterpreting this. I know I just said I'm leaving, but let me tell you, this is how you know. This is a reason to keep things closed and not for everybody, because people will just misinterpret things on purpose, all willy-nilly. I haven't seen white people necessarily misinterpreting. I've seen white people not get Sinners and not think it's that good. I've seen that. But what I see more is Asian people who believe that Asian woman is the hero of the movie. What's her name? Grace? They think she's the hero of the movie. This is why you can't be mainstream and have a message. Well, you can have a message for Black people and be mainstream, but you also have to be willing to just let it go and let people ruin your message, because Asian YouTubers believe that Grace is the hero of Sinners. Grace, who was like, some shit is going down, let's leave, go get the car. Grace. Come in. I'm gonna be the one to say the words. Come in, vampires. Since I have watched more than 2, I'm gonna say 3 or 4 different YouTubers, Asian, who believe she is the hero of the movie. And then you get in the comment section and they be co-signing. Things cannot be open to everyone and keep their Meaning, I'm not a mainstream chick. You don't have to worry about that. I'm not a mainstream. You don't have to worry about my YouTube channel, about our coaching community, about the Exodus Summit. You don't have to worry about it ever becoming for everyone because they will ruin it. They sincerely believe that she is the hero of the movie. Not ironically, sincerely, their interpretation. I interpret grace as the exact strike down of affirmative action that kicked off all this anti-DEI stuff happened with Asian people wanting Black people to not go to university, believing Black people were taking their spots in colleges. That's grace. Or what's her name, Grace? That's grace. And that's exactly what she did in the movie. Oh, I'm not with them. As soon as things started going down, they got the store. They're profiting from Black people's money. They'll even come to the juke joint. Oh, she danced in the juke joint. Right. Even when the dancers were when the scene and the dancers, they even had a Chinese dancer in there. She was in it until things go down. And then she said to her husband, "Get the car. We're not with them. Get the car. Something's going down. They're going to have to fix this on their own. Get the car." That is the strike down of affirmative action. He's never said it. Ryan Coogler has never said that. Get the car. That's what Grace said. This man who your husband has known his whole life is dying, bleeding, or he may have been already dead on the floor. And his twin is handling that. And you said, get the car. You don't have to worry about me using people of color as a term in my life. You don't have to worry about me being mainstream and expecting everyone to get it. It's not for everybody. Get the car. They're like, but she loved her daughter. What you don't understand is she wanted to that man didn't want her daughter. That vampire did not care about her daughter. That vampire wanted Sammy. And every Black person in that building circled around Sammy to protect Sammy. And Grace said, get the car. And then is the one who said the words that brought the vampires into the building. I hope you've seen Sinners, but I haven't spoiled it. It's beautiful and you'll want to see it. Just for the look of it. We don't see movies today that look beautiful anymore. Everything looks flat and they don't use lighting anymore. Everything is like flood lit. Everything is lit like this. You don't see shadows in movies anymore. I saw the preview for Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, when they worked for the magazine. I saw the previews for that replay, for that part 2. And I was like, this is the ugliest trailer I've ever seen. Where's the shadows? Sinners was beautiful. I wish the music had been more. Black music, the music didn't stir me as much as it could have. I wish the music had been better. But other than that, Sinners, worth seeing, even though you already know what I just told you, right? I've spoiled something, but I've not spoiled the movie. Devil Wears Prada. Did y'all see the trailer for number 2? It looks so ugly. Movies, I ain't got nothing to do with it, but movies no longer look like movies. Everything looks like General Hospital, right? I don't watch General Hospital as much anymore, but up until maybe this time last year, I still watch soap operas. Soap operas have a low budget now, and they don't have time for all this nonsense. Nothing is being lit properly. It's just bright. Everything is the same. Everything is flat. But you expect that from General Hospital because they come on every day. This movie is 2 hours. You couldn't take the time to get a lighting expert to light these people? Have some things in the shadows? Why is everything the same brightness? Pisses me off. This is I told y'all last week there was like 5 things that are none of my business that really piss me off. And that is one of them. I think I've told you 3 now. I've told you 3. Rashni says she still hasn't seen it. It's on HBO Max, which I watch on YouTube. I watch HBO Max on YouTube. I think that's a thing that I got with premium or something. It's worth it. It's beautiful. And if you're interested in being like, I knew white people were vampires, and you want a little confirmation, I knew white people were out here sucking the life out of us and then benefiting from it. I was right. If you want to watch a good I Was Right movie, it's worth it. It's worth it. Beautiful. Yeah, the music should have really, listen, music speaks to me. What did I just watch? Young woman, a Black woman, recorded her sister in the house singing at the top of her lungs, Do You Know the Muffin Man? A Black family, right? That girl she took Do You Know the Muffin Man to church, okay? Yes, I know the Muffin Man, right? She sang Do You Know the Muffin Man? So now Black people on the internet are singing Do You Know the Muffin Man in a gospel way. And I'll be listening to it like, this is speaking to me. This is music. This is touching my soul. I don't even know what the song is really about. The Muffin Man. I remember not, but this is stirring me. I feel like there was a missed opportunity for some soul stirring music in Sinners. But whatever. It should have been. It should have been. That was a missed opportunity, an opportunity for more soul stirring music. But whatever. Ryan Coogler's from California. Maybe they don't do that. Maybe do y'all not do that? Y'all not do gospel music in California, right? We sat in the church. They sang something in the church. What did they sing? Something. But there was a missed opportunity for more. Delroy Lindo. Now, when Delroy Lindo was humming in the car, I did feel that. I felt that. The composer for Sinners was not Black, right? Something you could tell. So, I've heard her too. I've heard her too. Music it will stir you. It will speak to you if you let it. I think that is when we walked out of that movie theater, Rashida and Amina and I saw Sinners together in Mexico. We saw it in Mexico when Amina was getting her residency. And I had two complaints. One was the opening with the voiceover, and then they repeated it again. For some reason, that annoyed me. The same voiceover twice in the movie. I was like, skip that. And the music should have hit harder. I felt like the music should have hit me. I don't think I spoiled. There's nothing. The trailer, I don't think I've said anything that's not in the trailer, right? Trailer makes it clear it's a vampire movie and somebody gonna get bit, right? I may have spoiled the Asian woman's role. I've spoiled her role. That's it. It's worth seeing. Sinners is the first movie or first piece of media in a long time where you see a Black, dark skin, I'm going to say fat woman be loved and be taken seriously, and if anybody is, besides the main protagonist, if anybody is the hero, she's the hero. She is taken seriously. She is not mistreated, and she is not scoffed at. She is spiritual. She is connected. She is trusted and protected as much as they could. That is a reason to see Sinners, right? As a dark-skinned, fat Black woman myself, we don't see that. We don't see fat, dark-skinned Black women as being deserving of any good thing in media. We don't see, you haven't seen it since, now there's something y'all told me to watch. I still didn't watch. I'm sorry. I can't remember what it was. Was it Lovecraft Country? Had a fat Black woman who was good, who was like treated well? Something y'all told me to watch that I forgot to watch. I didn't watch. Weezy Jefferson was the last. Was it her? Was it the same lady? Was it Wumi? Listen, I love me some Wumi. I need to, let's see. Was she the one? Was she the same person? She sure was. It's the same person. Okay, y'all told me to watch Lovecraft Country. It's the same actor. It's the same actor. Also, Eddie Murphy's Dolomite is My Name. She was, what's her name? Divine Joy. Divine, is her name Divine Joy? She was taken seriously and loved and treated with respect. And she was not a joke. And she was not treated as though she was not deserving. Right? So Dolomite is My Name was what year? 2019. So from the end of the Jeffersons until 2019, I have not seen it. And then we see it again in Sinners. Same woman. It's the same woman. There's not a lot of media out here. This is why people think it's okay to mistreat us and why it's okay for people to think that we're not. Aunt Viv, I mean fat. I'm also, it's all of it. So Aunt Viv, dark skin, she was loved until she wasn't, until they treated her, until they made her the joke, replaced her with a light-skinned woman and treated her like a joke. Right. So the Aunt Viv doesn't count because she's not fat, but also because they did turn her into a joke. Like, and that's part of the point. They did turn the dark-skinned woman into a joke. I mean, a different character, but the same actor. Yeah, a different character, but the same actor. I love her. I've seen Divine Joy in, she was also in that movie where about Christmas at the school, the boarding school. So, right, we don't have a whole lot out there. That's a reason to see Sinners in its own. It's scary, but it's not real life scary. I'm scared of real life things that are actually going to happen. The movies where they show like a home invasion, I'm terrified of home invasion movies, right? Because that's real life. Vampire don't want it with me, right? You can do it. You can do it. I don't care for home invasion movies because that's too real. Like that home invasion movie where they're wearing the masks, the little smiley masks. Oh, I can't do it. I've tried to watch that movie 2 or 3 different times. I can't get past the very beginning or the first scene with the home invaders. But the vampires, vampires, I don't think they're real. Not that kind of vampire. You don't have to be scared. They can't hurt you. They can't hurt you. White people are way worse. You live with white people. Don't you work with white people? They're way worse. Girl. That's my philosophy on scary movies. If it probably is not gonna happen to me tonight, I'm not too concerned. The only thing that really got to me, so besides home invasion, now the Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs, anytime I watch it, I'm not sleeping for 2 or 3 days. I watch it every now and then, but I know I'm not gonna sleep. For some reason, that scares me, even though I don't think I've ever seen someone when he cuts that man's face off in the elevator and puts his face on his face. I don't think that's realistic, but that scares me. And home invasions scare me. Vampires, they don't scare me. I'm not even afraid of Candyman, right? Candyman don't want it with me, right? It's the real life stuff that is terrifying. Okay. You're going to like it. Karima, you're going to like it. Annie. So there's a lot of characters. I don't want to build this up as though Annie is the only person in the movie. Like you're going to spend hours with Annie. We get a few minutes of Annie in the movie, but you're going to love her. And you're going to be like, yes, Annie. Give me the prequel. Give me Annie's prequel. Okay. Tell me Annie's whole life story. That's our girl. I think you're going to love it. That's what every Black woman I know, that is one of their main reasons that they watch or rewatch the movie is because Annie, right? And she's British. Yeah, Wunmi Mosaku. She's British. Yeah. Okay, and then the Oscars are Sunday. So is she nominated? Is she nominated? They've been getting good awards all season. I don't think so. Oh, Academy Award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. She is nominated. I don't know, y'all. I think y'all might be watching Sinners today, so that you know how much she deserves this win on Sunday. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all might be watching Sinners this weekend. Yeah. And you're gonna be like, I've never seen that. When you see Annie on the screen, you're gonna be like, you're right. I think if you're under 40, you've never seen it. You've never seen a fat, dark-skinned Black woman be loved and treated with dignity and respect and trust and protection. You've not seen it. Except for the same woman in a previous role, apparently, which I haven't seen yet. Or if you've seen Dolomite Is My Name. Did she have the baby? Did she? Let me see. Let me go to her Wikipedia. Oh, her Wikipedia. She's been out here working. Oh, wait, I'm on the supporting actors thing. Let me go to her actual Wikipedia. One child, one children. No, she didn't have her baby yet. She welcomed a daughter in 2024. No, she's still pregnant. She's been out here talking her talk, but she's still pregnant. Okay, I don't know. Oh, you said she did? Maybe her Wikipedia is not updated yet. Sinners is on Netflix, HBO Max, and Hulu. And I watched it on the HBO Max YouTube channel. That's also how I watched Heated Rivalry. I watched it on the YouTube channel. I think I have YouTube Premiere, and either it comes with Premiere or I paid for it and I don't remember paying for it, which is likely. It's quite possible. It's quite possible that I am paying for it, but I don't recall paying for it. But YouTube, I watch it on the YouTube channel. I can't watch it here on the TV. Anyway, whatever. I watch it on my laptop. Yeah, just the one. I didn't think she had a baby yet. I don't know. What do I know? I feel like you know how you feel like we're friends. Every interview she's in, I'm watching, but we're not friends. I don't know that. I don't know her, but I don't think she did. All right. Yeah, this is just another baby. She had a 2024 baby. This is a new baby. Yeah. Okay. The other woman, Haley Steinfeld, had her baby. The one married to the football player. She had her baby. They were both of the women in Sinners who were the love interests of the twins. Both of them were pregnant at the same time. The white woman, Haley, had her baby. All right. Okay. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Go join the Exodus Summit community if you're not already there, and look for a meetup. If you don't see one, make one. Okay? If you don't see a meetup that you can attend, make a meetup that you can attend. And remember that Bogota is happening in April. It's during the Bogota Art Week, Art Bow. So we'll probably go to some galleries and stuff. And they were busy. And the Ghana meetup is June 20th to around the 28th. It says the 30th, but I think I'm skedaddling a little before the 30th. Okay. Spring break. If you get into the community, if you get into the community and you're planning a spring break, share it with us. I mean, let us know what your plans are, or let us know after. If you don't want to tell us ahead of time, that's okay. I understand that. For safety purposes, some people don't like to tell people when they're traveling. I get that. But after you come back, tell us how your spring break was. I did enjoy True Grit. She was a really, really good child actor in that movie. I remember that. I did enjoy that movie. I try not to watch Coen Brothers movies. I don't trust them. I don't trust them white men. I don't trust them. There's some something. Coen Brothers and Wes Anderson, they're up to something. But True Grit is a really, really well done movie. And that little girl carries that movie. That little girl, Haley, when she was a child, she carried that movie. All right, that's what you need to do. The Heartbeat app is not the easiest, but stick with it. Try to say hi, say hey in the group, make a post, reply to something. Yeah, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. They can make a good movie, but I don't trust their messages. And the Tarantino, Tarantino. Not only do I not trust Tarantino, I don't trust actors who work with Tarantino. I don't understand. Let me tell you all this. Quentin Tarantino is so in love with saying nigger on film. But don't you know he made that World War II movie and never used the K word, never used a derogatory term about Jews. And Black people are still like, oh, I'm going to make a movie with Quentin Tarantino. No, I don't trust you, Kerry Washington. I don't trust you, Samuel Jackson. I don't trust you, Jamie Foxx. Because what? Not after the world Inglorious, after he makes Inglorious Bastards, and he never once uses a derogatory term for Jews. Black people should have been like, oh, shoot. We've been letting this man say nigger all this time. We've been letting him say nigger in every movie. Him, the white man. Not just his characters, not just his Black characters, his white characters, and him, he's, and not one derogatory term, right? I'm fine. Listen, I use the N word. I use the word. I'm not even going to say the K word, right? Black people are just like, oh, that's just what he does. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I will never, ever, ever trust Kerry Washington, Jamie Foxx, Samuel L. Jackson. Their movies, they make good work. I don't trust you. Because what? Bitch, what? Not once do they use the K word in a World War II movie about Nazis. He understands restraint. He also understands what Black people will allow him to get away with. So, man, F all of them. F all of them. Okay, that's it. I think not really where I wanted to close out the video. I heard she said something to him recently, and no Black person is going to be like, none of these Black actors are like, yeah. What Black actor was like, I agree? None of them. Not one derogatory term for Jews, not one K word in Inglourious Bastards, a movie about Nazis. Not one Nazi says the word. But you got nigger all up in your movies? Okay. And Black people work with him? Okay. Don't trust you. I don't trust you. Years ago, I was I was on a work exchange in Australia, and the husband had lost his driver's license because he refused to vote. He was British. He wasn't Australian, but he refused to vote. And so Australia would take your driver's license. And so I drove him around in his Saab, and he had GPS. So I'd be like, well, Charles, I'll take you to whatever, take him to his appointment, take him whatever. And the GPS would be talking, and he'd be like, I don't trust that lady. That's me when I see Kerry Washington. I don't trust that lady. Jamie Foxx, I don't trust that man. What? Okay. I see how it is. People who will do anything for money will do anything for money. That's where I'm coming from. They will do anything for money, including let a white man call them nigger unnecessarily. Unnecessarily. Unnecessary. Okay. I don't trust that lady. He used to say that every time. She'd be like, turn left. I don't trust that lady. All right, friends. So, Exodus Summit, community, and meetups. Exodus ASAP, move abroad, or bop around coaching. Okay, exodussummit.com/community for the community. ExodusASAP.com for the coaching program. And I'll see y'all again sometime soon. I feel like I did it. Did I do it in 3.5 hours? Have a wonderful weekend. Happy March. Happy March. Happy Pisces season. Happy spring. Spring is almost here. Okay. See you guys. I'm letting y'all say goodbye in the chat. We done? We're done saying our goodbyes. Did you like the video? Did you hit the like? Did you share it? If you're here, you liked it. Okay. If you're still here, you liked it. It's okay. You can hit the like button. Okay. I see your goodbyes. All right. Have a great weekend. Have a great day. Happy Saturday. Happy March. Happy whatever. Oh, it is pie. 3.14. Happy Pie Day. Get some pie. I don't have any desserts here. Maybe that'll be a reason to leave the house today. All right, friends. Take good care. Is it St. Louis Day? Okay. Happy St. Louis Day. St. Louis friends. I like y'all. I know y'all don't like me. I like you. Okay. Bye.